Manila. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience CNC frozen treats. You won't regret it.
TLC Settlements is a proud sponsor of the 2022 Cardinals. When buying, selling, or refinancing your investment, TLC Settlements, LLC believes that every transaction is important, no matter how big or how small. The trustworthy team of Tracy, Lucy, and Christy bring 55-plus years experience in the industry. We are dedicated to and take pride in the service that we give to each and every customer. Although we do many closings each month, every closing is very important to us. Our service speaks for itself at TLC Settlements.
Overlooking the scenic Shenandoah River in a lovely sylvan setting, our campus is spacious, yet inviting, rich in culture, beauty, and history. It is a setting well suited for our time-tested Catholic liberal arts curriculum, the same education that has inspired and produced the greatest men and women of Christendom over the past 2,000 years. Inside and outside the classroom, you will experience an integrated life. Here you will strengthen your intellect in such a powerful way that you will have the ability to master any subject, no matter how complex the vocational calling. You will thrive in a supportive and Christ-centered culture dedicated to helping you realize your potential. Our education is not an education for the faint of heart, but for those willing to accept the bold and challenging call from God to become the great men and women that He wants them to be. Dare to join us. Dare to be great.
Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County. Your local Lindsay Chevrolet dealer of Front Royal is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Your next new or pre-owned vehicle awaits you at Lindsay Chevrolet. There are many options of Chevy vehicles to help anyone find new roads. Choose Lindsay Chevrolet. You'll love it at Lindsay.
The Knights of Columbus. Catholic men building a bridge back to faith. There's much work to be done in this world. Good work, necessary work. And that's what the Knights do every day, assisting the sick and disabled, protecting those who can't protect themselves. Whether they are next door or halfway around the world, this is the journey. Our path. We do it to be better husbands, fathers, sons, neighbors, and Catholics. We invest our time, our effort, and our resources into our values, charity, unity, fraternity, patriotism. We come from many places and backgrounds and stages in our lives, but we are all of one thing. It's one thing to say who you are, it's another to live. Put your values into action. That's what we do at the Knights of Columbus. That's who we are.
You're listening to Front Royal Cardinals Baseball.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Grant Gipko with the solo home run.
This is Cardinal Countdown.
Popped into center. Looks to be playable. It will do it no matter what. Connor Frost coming home. The Cardinals win it. Riley Frost with the walk-off for Connor. Popped into left field. Bring him home. Dylan Swarmer followed by Drew Camp, and it is a tie ball game thanks to Dallas Heights.
On StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, the flagship affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals radio network.
It is on out into center field. It is high. It is far. It is gone. It's a grand slam into center field. A
That is hit on the direction of left field. Looks to be foul. Did he make the catch? He did!
Now, to the broadcast booth at Bing Crosby Stadium.
And we welcome you to David L. Wines Field here at Bing Crosby Stadium for what wasn't supposed to be. This game was supposed to be played 2 Thursdays ago. And, of course, with the recent weather that we had, that game was, in fact, postponed to today. And if you joined us yesterday evening, you will know that the game yesterday between the Strasburg Express was truly an exciting game. Mother Nature won. Baseball 0. So the Cardinals, rather, will have a game tomorrow. Apologies if you heard that. But the Cardinals not only are extending their season by 1 day, as we thought before yesterday, but we are now extending our season an extra day to reverse the Strasburg Express here in the confines of Bing Crosby Stadium tomorrow evening. So we hope you can join us for that. But it is Knights of Columbus and Christendom College night here at David L. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium. The Newmarket Rebels have come to town again for the second time in the last little bit. Of course, the first time they came in the last little bit, they had to turn around and go home due to the weather. And their lineup, or their roster rather, is looking a little different between then and now. They've gone down a whole lot. In fact, on an 8.5 and 11 piece of paper, a usual roster will take up the whole piece of paper, but Newmarket's coming from that game to now takes up roughly half, if not less than that now, as they've had several injuries and players just go home. And in the meantime, we will get to the starting lineup. By the way, I don't know if you noticed or remember from what we said last night, Front Royal is now being propelled up a spot thanks to Newmarket dropping out, of course, as I said, due to the injuries and the players leaving. So Newmarket is out as a contender for the North Division in the Valley Baseball League postseason. So the Cardinals will be propelled up a spot, and I think, Matthew, you just said that they are in a playoff spot right now. So Cardinals looking to defend that now, as I believe Winchester lost earlier today as well. I'm not quite sure on that one. I've been told. So
They did lose today. Their game tomorrow is forfeited by Woodstock.
So they did, in fact, lose today in their game against Woodstock. That they were supposed to play Woodstock and somebody else. I can't quite remember. Purcellville. The Woodstock game was forfeited by Woodstock, so Winchester, unfortunately for the Cardinals, got that win. But
It's not here yet, but
Cardinals still have that playoff spot for now. So they're really fighting Winchester to contend for the playoffs. And again, we will keep you updated. We have scores around the Valley League that we will get into in just a moment. But right now, we will take a look at the Newmarket Rebels starting lineups out of the select few that they have remain on the roster. Leading off for the Rebels this evening will be left fielder Tiger Borum, lefty 5'9", 160-pound junior out of an undecided college, hometown of Jonesboro, Georgia. In the 2 spot, playing center field, number 7, Dom Papa, lefty 5'11", 180-pound junior out of the University of Pittsburgh, hometown of Pittsburgh. In the 3 spot, the right fielder, number 29, Kyle Joy, righty 6'1", 225-pound senior out of Wake Forest University, hometown of Pebble Beach, California. In the 4 spot, the third baseman, number 25, Wyatt Morgan, lefty batter, righty thrower, 5'11", 205-pound senior out of Middle Tennessee State University, hometown of Lenexa, Kansas. In the 5 spot, the catcher, number 43, Benjamin Stevens, righty 6 foot, 227-pound junior out of Capital University, hometown of Canal, Winchester, Ohio. In the 6th spot, the shortstop, number 9, Michael Coyne, righty 6'1", 180-pound freshman out of Georgetown University, hometown of Woodbridge, Connecticut. In the 7th spot, the DH, number 12, Jet Jackson, righty 6'4", 190-pound senior out of Purdue University, hometown of Burns, Tennessee. In the 8th spot, The first baseman, number 31, Blaine Deaton, lefty batter, righty thrower, 6'6", 205-pound senior out of Indiana University, hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. And in the ninth spot, the second baseman, number 8, Braden Hoveter, righty, 5'10", 180-pound sophomore out of Fairmont State University, hometown of Edinburgh, Virginia. And on the bump, in the bottom half of the first for the Rebels will be Eric Gustafson, left-handed pitcher, 5'11", 205-pound junior out of Mansfield University, hometown Easton, Pennsylvania. I might as well add 3 of the 9 in the starting lineup for the Rebels are pitchers. Those 3 being Jackson, Hoveter, and Deaton. They are all playing positions contrary to what their positions or what position they're listed under on the roster. They're listed as pitchers again. And again, Deaton, Hoveter, and Jackson are all playing positions this evening for the Rebels, who in the meantime are 19-21 coming into this evening's game. They're 6.5 games back. They're on a 6-game losing streak and 2-8 out of the last 10 they've played. The previous game on Friday was a 4-2 loss to the Express at First Bank Park. They lost to the River Bandits on Thursday 15-2, lost to Purcellville on Tuesday the 19th 5-1, and the River Bandits again with a loss on Monday 4-3. All those being the last 4 games for the Rebels. The Rebels coming into this game with a team combined batting average of .244. The most games a player has appeared in is 40 out of 1,227 at-bats, 199 runs have scored, 300 hits have been recorded, as well as 12 home runs, 158 RBIs, 161 walks, and 311 strikeouts on the season. The starting pitcher this evening for the Rebels is, in fact, Eric Gustafson, who has appeared in 6 games, started in 2, has 21 1/3 innings under his belt, has got 19 hits on the season, 8 runs, 6 of the 8 being earned, 10 walks, 18 strikeouts, sits 2-0 on the season with an ERA of 2.53. The batting leaders, most of them are, in fact, gone. I believe Wyatt Morgan is the one that rounds things out at first. He does for the batting average at a 300. Dom Papa in second with a 278. Kyle Joy in third with a 268. Rounding out in fourth is Jet Jackson. My apologies. I think this has actually been updated. Jet Jackson in fourth with a 250. 1 home run in the favor of Joy. The other Rebels on the roster this evening do not have one. So there's only 1 home run out of roughly the 14 or so players, or 13, 14, something along those lines, that are on the Rebel roster this evening. Don Papa leading things off in the RBI column with a 16, followed by Joy in second with 12. Borum and Stevens rounding out in third and fourth with third in a tie with 1. The pitching leaders for the Rebels coming into this game: Deaton with 3 wins on the season, Gustafson with 2, Jackson and Byers rounding out with 1 in a 3-way tie. Deaton also leading around in strikeouts with 35, followed by Byers with 23, Gustafson with 18, Jackson with 16. Lowest ERA that a Rebel pitcher has is a perfect 100. That is coming under Will Smith, followed by Aaron Olick with a 193. Gustafson rounding out in third with 253. Rounding out in fourth will be Evan Byers with a 398 on the season. It is the 5th place Cardinals versus the now dropped out of the playoffs Newmarket Rebels. They sit 3rd. The Cardinals sit 5th originally. They will now go into the playoffs as a 4th seed. But with Newmarket still technically in the standings, they are 3rd, and the Cardinals are 5th. It's the 19-21 Rebels versus the 14-26 Cardinals. As we take a sideline here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, we return to you right after these messages from our lovely sponsors.
Don't go anywhere. The Cardinal Countdown pregame show will be back in a moment on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
The
The Wines family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
Welcome to Hazard Mill Farms, located in the beautiful Appalachian foothills of Virginia. The farm offers lodging, a retreat center, and catering. We also offer a wide range of outdoor activities and recreation. Located on the banks of the Shenandoah River, we invite you to enjoy many river activities, swimming, tubing, and canoeing. We provide many options for your wedding and other events. If you want a peaceful place to relax, spend time with family, simply enjoy the beauty of the surrounding area, or host a killer event, Hazard Mill Farms is the perfect place for you. All of our rental spaces are available for your special event. Visit hazardmillfarm.com to reserve today.
I'm J.D. Howler, President and CEO of U.S. Inspect Group, the country's largest home inspection company. We operate nationally across 24 MSAs, and our 30-year-old brand has delivered 3 million inspections. The best real estate brokerages in the country love us because we help their real estate agents get deals closed faster, and we protect their customers. We have a proven business model and positive EBITDA. With new investors, new management, new board, and new products, our mission is to make home inspections as simple and painless as ordering an Uber.
This message is brought to you by US Inspect. For more information, find them online at usinspect.com.
Woods Cove Assisted Living has been working with families for over 15 years to offer quality care to patients who need additional support. We concentrate on working with our residents in need of this kind of support and delivering health care and other essential services in the solace of their new home. Our demonstrated track record of providing improved quality of life for our residents is evident in the satisfaction our families feel and the contentment our residents experience daily. We focus on quality health care that is family-centered and involve you, their family, and their health care plan. We understand that the services we provide should reflect the care a family member would afford our residents. Contact us at 540-636-6611 or visit us at 201 West Kreiser Road in Front Royal. At Woods Cove, your family is our family.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
And we welcome you back to David L. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium for the Rebels versus the Cardinals here in this final game between the two in this 2022 campaign. The Cardinals looking, as we were discussing in the break, the Cardinals are technically, a half or a full game above Winchester right now?
Right now they're a half game above, but I'm trying to figure out how this is going to go because Woodstock forfeited their game tomorrow, but I don't think that game has been put in the record book yet. So as of right now, I think they're technically tied with us. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll see by the end of tomorrow or by tomorrow's game. We should know how it will play out between the two teams.
I can tell you I certainly don't know how the math works. I've never been able to follow it. But in the meantime, we've done the not Percival, sorry. We were talking about Percival in the break. And Newmarket, rather, is who we're playing. The Newmarket starting lineups and pregame stats. And now we will transition into the Front Royals starting lineups and player stats. And that will go to my partner, Matthew Wiseman.
Hello, everybody. And today, the Front Royal Cardinals are coming into this game in technically 4th place, a half game above Winchester, as we just mentioned. They're 14-26 so far this season. They won their last game against Winchester at Winchester 2 nights ago, and they are 2-8 in their last 10 games. They were supposed to play last night, but due to rain, that game got moved until tomorrow, in which they will play Strasburg here at Bing Crosby Stadium. So hopefully the Cardinals can win that one. The Cardinals are coached by Clint Marsh. That's the head coach, and the assistant coach is JoJo Allen. And we will go into the lineup that they put together for this evening's game. Leading off behind the dish is going to be the switch hitter, Brody Popple. He throws from the right side. He's 5'11", 188 pounds. He's a rising sophomore at Florida A&M, hometown of Tallahassee, Florida. Playing shortstop, hitting second is number 2, Trent Jeffcoat. He's a lefty hitter, righty thrower, 6 foot, 175 pounds. He's a rising senior at the University of West Florida, hometown of Pensacola, Florida. Hitting third, playing first base is number 5, Drew Camp, righty, 6 foot 2, 190 pounds, hometown of South Chesterfield, Virginia. He's a rising senior at Longwood University. In right field tonight, hitting fourth is JoJo Jackson. He's a switch hitter, lefty thrower, 6'3", 225 pounds. He's a rising sophomore at Georgia State University, hometown of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Hitting fifth, playing third base is going to be Christian Campbell. He's a righty, 6 foot, 155 pounds. He is a rising sophomore at South Georgia College, hometown of Rincon, Georgia. DHing is going to be Carlton Harper, number 31. He's a lefty hitter, righty thrower, 6 foot 1, 200 pounds. Rising senior at LIU Post, hometown of Canton, Michigan. Hitting seventh, playing left field is going to be Sam Daggers. He's a righty, 6 foot 1, 205 pounds. He's a rising senior at Shepherd College, hometown of Galloway, New Jersey. Hitting eighth, playing second base is going to be Connor Frost. He's a righty, 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's a rising junior out of University of North Georgia, hometown of Roswell, Georgia. And rounding out the lineup tonight is going to be number 3, J.R. London. He's a righty, 5'8", 160 pounds. He's a rising senior at South Georgia College, hometown of Eden, Georgia. On the mound today is going to be Bryce Fisher, number 15 for the front row Cardinals. He's a lefty, 6'4", 225 pounds. He's a rising junior at University of North Carolina, Asheville, hometown of Kings Mountain, Georgia. Coming into this ball game, Fisher hosts a 3.02 ERA with a 1-4 record. He's appeared in 8 games, started 7 of them rather. He has 35 2/3 innings so far this year. He has given up 36 hits, 12 earned runs, 18 runs in total, 16 walks, and 36 strikeouts. So Bryce Fisher has pitched very well so far for the Cardinals this year, and he's looking to continue it this game as the Cardinals have their playoff hopes on the line. Coming into this ball game, the Cardinals have a total team average of 225 and a total of 186 runs scored for the hitting side of it. On the pitching side, they come in with a team ERA of 6.05. That's a total of 100. It says 116 games, but that's because players come in and that's
not the stats.
Yeah, everybody has a total amount of games played, and they just add that up. So a total number of 40 games started for the Cardinals, and so far they've only had 1 complete game. That's held by Michael Schultz in a game that ended short due to rain. It was cut off short. So let's go into the hitting and pitching leaders for the front row Cardinals. Trent Jeffcoat leads with the average category with a 363. JoJo Jackson with a 346. Drew Camp with a 269. And Sam Daggers with a 241. The home run leaders are Dallas Height and JoJo Jackson. Height with 3, Jackson with 2. The rest of the team still searching for their first home run of the season. Dallas Height has 21 RBIs so far this year. JoJo Jackson with 15. Trent Jeffcoat with 12 and Riley Frost with 11. Going into the pitchers, Justin Reebok, Alex Sakis, and Grant Adams lead the team with 2 wins apiece. Michael Schultz with 1 win. The strikeout category is led by Bryce Fisher, who has 36, Grant Adams with 30, Michael Schultz with 25, and Sean Means with 24. And Bryce Fisher leads with a 3.03 ERA, Sean Means with a 3.27, Justin Reebok with a 4.22, and Alex Sakis with a 5.09 ERA. And going into the North Division in the Valley Baseball League, the standings are as followed. Woodstock, number 1, Strasburg, number 2, Purcellville, number 3, Front Royal, 4, Winchester, 5, and again, Newmarket Rebels have dropped out of playoff contention, so that's why I don't include them in the standings. So far, the Cardinals are half a game above the Winchester Royals for the last playoff spot, so we will see what happens in this game. If they're able to win, then they do take a full game control over the Winchester Royals. But if they lose this game, they are then tied again with the Winchester Royals for the last playoff spot. So we will see how that goes. But right now, the hottest teams in the North are Purcellville and Woodstock. So we'll see how this game goes, and we'll come back to you guys when the game is about to begin.
We'll take a sideline here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network as the Cardinals lineups are now being announced in-house. And when we come back, we will give you a few scores from around the league, and we will take you into the game right after this.
Don't go anywhere. The Cardinal Countdown pregame show will be back in a moment on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
This is a brief reminder that the Valley Baseball League will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, national origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, citizenship, and/or military or veteran status. The Valley Baseball League supports all of our teams in addressing these issues at their individual ballparks. Thank you for being a good sport and enjoy the game.
The Knights of Columbus. Catholic men building a bridge back to faith. There's much work to be done in this world. Good work, necessary work. And that's what the Knights do every day. Assisting the sick and disabled. Protecting those who can't protect themselves. Whether they are next door or halfway around the world, this is the journey we are on. Our path. We do it to be better husbands, fathers, sons, neighbors, and Catholics. We invest our time, our effort, and our resources into our values, charity, unity, fraternity, patriotism. We come from many places and backgrounds and stages in our lives, but we are all one thing. It's one thing to say who you are, it's another to live. Put your values into action. That's what we do at the Knights of Columbus. That's who we are.
Overlooking the scenic Shenandoah River in a lovely sylvan setting, our campus is spacious, yet inviting, rich in culture, beauty, and history. It is a setting well suited for our time-tested Catholic liberal arts curriculum, the same education that has inspired and produced the greatest men and women of Christendom over the past 2,000 years. Inside and outside the classroom, you will experience an integrated life. Here, you will strengthen your intellect in such a powerful way that you will have the ability to master any subject, no matter how complex the vocational calling. You will thrive in a supportive and Christ-centered culture dedicated to helping you realize your potential. Our education is not an education for the faint of heart, but for those willing to accept the bold and challenging call from God to become the great men or women that He wants them to be. Dare to join us. Dare to be great.
This day is gonna be the greatest memory, making history Let's go. You don't need no luck with that golden touch. Time to light it up. Let's go. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it.
And has cracked into the left, rather. Will drop for a base hit. He will round to second off of that. Make it to third. Chip puts on the Jets. That is popped into left field. Bring him home. Dylan Swarmer followed by Drew Camp. And it is a tie ball game thanks to Dallas Height. That's popped to Riley Frost at short to play at first. Will be bounced, but in time. What a play from 6 to 3. Popped into center. Looks to be playable. Connor Frost coming home. The Cardinals win it. Riley Frost with the walk-off for Connor.
Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it.
This is the last time the Rebels and the Cardinals will face each other for this 2022 slate. And in fact, the last time these two teams will meet in the regular season, since the Newmarket Rebels will not go into the playoffs. As we stated in the pregame show, the Rebels are just a few players short from having the comfort. They are literally backed to the wall on the point streak roster that we're given before each game. Newmarket's roster today says that they've got 2 infielders, 3 outfielders, which, by the way, all 5 of those gentlemen are playing, 1 catcher, and out of 13, 14 players, let's say there's 6
It's
there.
14.
It's 14
total
So
players.
there's 8 pitchers.
Yep.
And they've got 4 of those on the field somehow. Either
Two.
playing...
2, they have 1 at second, 1 at first, and then 1 pitching, which...
And then one's just DHing, but that's absurd to believe.
That's crazy.
We've usually seen 1 pitch and then 1 possibly play like second base or something. Because I remember we've seen, it was Hunter Smith for, maybe it was for Newmarket. I can't remember.
Might have been.
I can't remember.
Might have been.
I mean, regardless, he's not here if it was Newmarket, but I can say one thing for certain. I remember he came in and pinched for somebody, then came in and relieved in the bottom of the ninth. And just looking for the Cardinals to get a win here, as they are contending for that sweet, sweet spot in the playoffs if they can muster it up. As we get set and ready to start things off, it is Tiger Borum, the left fielder, to lead things off. Lefty, 5'9", 160-pound junior out of an undecided school, hometown of Jonesboro, Georgia. As Bryce Fisher sets on the mound, the first pitch of the game is cracked on into right. Beautiful hit, but it will, in fact, be caught out there by the Cardinal right fielder, Joe Jackson. And out number 1 is recorded for the Rebels rather quick. And so out number 1 is recorded. In the meantime, we've got some scores around the Valley League. Covington falling to Stanton at Fireman's Field. 9-7 was the score in that game. 4-3 the final against Purcellville and Harrisonburg. The Cannons taking that game in game number 1 of the doubleheader. In the meantime, the new batter, Dom Papa, faces strike 1 on the first one from Fisher. Game number 2 between the Cannons and the Turks will start at, well, it says it starts at 6, but not quite sure why that hasn't
Maybe
started
a delay
yet.
of some sort, or
Possibly.
Are they playing a game before that as well?
They already finished
They
it.
already finished it?
Yep.
Maybe they did. Maybe it was supposed to be done earlier and the game just lasted longer or something
Possibly.
like that.
You never know. In the meantime, Papa cuts and misses on that one. Strike 2, 0-2 count. Here comes from Fisher. He will cut and miss on that one. Make it strike 3. Strikeout number 1 of the game.
Number
4,
37
Bryce
on
Fisher.
the season for Bryce Fisher.
And I was getting ready to point that out. That is number 37. He needs 3 more strikeouts to get to 40 strikeouts on this season, as Kyle Joy will come up. The last due up for the Rebels in the 1, 2, 3 spots. Joy playing right field this evening. Righty, 6'1", 225-pound senior out of Wake Forest, hometown Pebble Beach, as the first pitch to him is a strike. So 0-1 to start things off here As Fisher sets on the mound, Joy sets in the batter's box. Fisher will deal the 0-1. That one will go down the strike zone, make it strike 2. So 0-2 is the count. In the meantime, game starts at Central High School between the River Bandits and the Express. No score yet.
Maybe Hunter Smith was Woodstock.
Yes, he was. Yep, because he's pitching for Woodstock now.
Yeah.
So disregard that. But 1 ball, 2 strike count to Joy coming in the meantime. Waynesboro and the Tom Sox are in pregame. I think they played earlier as well. So waiting on that game to start as we have a 2-2 count coming to Kyle Joy. In fact, they did, but it says Charlottesville hosted the first game, and now they're away the second game. I don't know how that works. 7-4 was the score. Waynesboro taking down the Tom Sox in game 1. And it appeared they went to extras. They, in fact, did. They went to a 10th inning in that first game. As the score was 3-3 going to the top half of the 10th, Waynesboro tacked on 4 to make it a 7-3 lead, and Charlottesville can only muster up 1 to make it a 7-4 final score. In the meantime, here at Bing Crosby Stadium, it is a full count coming to Kyle Joy, the third batter in the lineup, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. That one is popped up, playable in foul territory. Drew Camp chasing it over, and he will make that catch right at the fence. Out number 3 is recorded. Fisher goes back to the dugout with a strikeout under it. The other 2 have been popped out. As we take a sideline here in the Front Royal Cardinals radio network, the Rebels have yet to send one outside of being due up. We'll come back to you on the Front Royal Cardinals radio network, StretcherNet.com, and the Royal Examiner is your home for the Cardinals all season long in this 2022 campaign.
I'm J.D. Howe, the President and CEO of U.S. Inspect Group, the country's largest home inspection company. We operate nationally across 24 MSAs, and our 30-year-old brand has delivered 3 million inspections. The best real estate brokerages in the country love us because we help their real estate agents get deals closed faster, and we protect their customers. We have a proven business model and positive EBITDA. With new investors, new management, new board, and new products, our mission is to make home inspections as simple and painless as ordering an Uber.
This message is brought to you by US Inspect. For more information, find them online at usinspect.com.
Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County.
And we welcome you back to David L. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium. As we have a scoreless game going to the bottom half of the first, the Rebels could only send 3 up. And the Cardinal defense got out of that inning quick, sending 3 up and taking 3 back. As the Cardinals will lead off with Brody Popple coming up as the leadoff batter, as he's done for the last, or supposedly the last 3 games. He was supposed to do it last night, of course, but with that game being rained out.
Well, ever since Dallas Hike got injured because he got hit in the knee with a baseball when he was hitting. He got hit square on the knee, so that has held him out. It was a bone bruise on the knee, which he was like, thank God it's not a fracture, but those bone bruises can last a long, long time. So hopefully he has a healthy recovery, as well as all of the players that have gotten injured here for the Front Row Cardinals. I believe JoJo Jackson was one of them. He's still playing with us, so he's healed up well. But you also have Coltrane Rubner, Henry Novicki, and
in the meantime, Popple bounces that one in front of the right fielder for a base hit. So Popple gets his first hit of the game off of pitch number 2, I believe is what it was. It in fact was. So Jeffcoat will come up with a man on first. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So the guys that have gotten injured are Henry Novicki, Anthony Basio, Coltrane Rubner, and now I can't think of the last one. Oh, and Dallas Height, who just got injured. So all of those guys. We hope that they have a healthy recovery, as well as everybody that's gotten injured in the Valley Baseball League, because we know this Newmarket Rebel team has been stricken by a lot of injuries so far this year, as well as players going back early for their games and for college. As the 0-1 to Jeffco is swung on and missed, so 0-2. And something else I just thought of as the throw is being the practice throwdown for the catcher was being thrown to second. The shortstop for the Newmarket Rebels, who for this game is going to be
Michael Coyne.
Coyne. He's going to have to receive every single throw down to second base if the runner is going, because a pitcher is playing second base, so I don't know if they're going to be able to trust that he can catch and put on a tag if the runner is stealing the bag. So a slight advantage for the Cardinals as the 0-2 to Jeffcoat is popped up into left field, looks to be playable. The play is made by Borum, so there is now one out, and the leadoff runner, Brody Popple, still remains at first base.
Following Jeffcoat in the lineup is Drew Camp, the first baseman, righty-righty, 6'2", 190-pound senior out of Longwood University, hometown of South Chesterfield, Virginia. The Cardinals have one on base. It is Brody Popple off of a leadoff hit off the second pitch of the at-bat, and we got people laughing up there.
There was a bug that just flew on the camera. It was just taking up the entire screen. So.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. Well, unless there's a rain delay, but
yeah, that's true.
That's.
In the meantime, Camp faces 1-0. Here comes the pitch from Gustafsson. That one's fouled out of play on the first base side. 1-1 count at an even now. Gustafsson, in the meantime, coming into this game with a 2.53 ERA, 21 and a third under his belt. He's got 18 strikeouts on the season so far. As he's got Drew Camp in a 1-1 with one out down. He looks to first at Brody Popple. Will deal the 1-1. That one will go down the strike zone. Strike 2 is the call. 1-2 is the count. There is one out down in this bottom half of the first. No score yet from either team. Cardinals have done something that the Rebels failed to do in the first, and they got somebody on base and with a hit nonetheless from Brody Popple, who stands on first now. Gustafsson sets and deals the 1-2. That one will be fouled on the first base side again and out of play. The count will stay where it is, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just going back to Bryce Fisher, who's starting for the Cardinals, 35 and a third innings coming into the game, 36 strikeouts. He's made it now 36 and a third with 37 strikeouts. So he's averaging more than 1 strikeout per inning, which is very, very good. Most of the time, it's rare to see a guy at this level, because their stuff isn't as refined as it is in the majors, see an average of almost a strikeout an inning. So he's having a great season here for the Cardinals and has solidified his spot as what I would consider to be the ace of this pitching staff, or at least out of the starters with the way he's pitched so far this season, as it's a full count to Drew Camp and 1 out. So Brody Popple not automatically going, but 3-2, he might be going here as Gustafsson checks over to first. Brody Popple not moving, so I don't think there's going to be a steal attempt on the 3-2 here with Brody Popple on first and Drew Camp at the dish.
Payoff coming from Gustafsson, the first of the game for him, as we had one in the previous frame given up by Bryce Fisher. As Gustafsson looks back at first, will deal. Popple goes. It will be strike 3, but Popple will make it standing up. The throw was not made. So a runner on second with 2 outs down as Gustafsson picks up strikeout number 1 of the game, making number 19 on the season. It comes as a Drew Camp looking strike. So that calls up the 4th batter in the lineup doing the right field work out there, JoJo Jackson, who got action early in this game on the defensive side of the ball with, I believe it was the first or second pitch was hit on. That was the first one. And JoJo made the catch out there in right field to pick up out number 1, and now looking to bring Popple home in his first plate appearance of the game. In the meantime, the first pitch missing, ball 1. Count is 1-0 to start things off here for the right fielder, JoJo Jackson.
JoJo has put up a good season so far, but has struggled with injuries. I think he strained his quad. He strained it earlier in the year, and I think he re-injured it later in the year, which held him out for a longer period of time. As this one's hit onto center field, that looks to be playable for the center fielder Pop, but he makes the play. So Cardinals bring four to the plate. They strand a runner on second base, and they do not scratch across a run here in the bottom of the first inning. So a scoreless first. We will see what happens in the second inning as the Rebels come to the plate. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 as Fisher looks to set them down at 1, 2, 3 as he did in the first. So thank you for joining us here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network on Stretch Internet and on the Front Royal Examiner.
You're listening to Cardinals Baseball on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
The Wines Family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take our care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
Welcome you back to David L. Wines Field here at Bing Crosby Stadium as we resume play here in this top half of the second. It is no score from either team. Now the Cardinals lead in the hit column 1-0. There was a Brody Popple fly to right that bounced just in front of the right fielder Kyle Joy. As we get set and ready to resume play here for the Rebels, it'll be their cleanup batter Wyatt Morgan, the third baseman, coming up. Batting left, throwing right, 5'11", 205-pound senior out of Middle Tennessee State University, hometown of Lenexa, Kansas. So again, no score from either team so far going into this top half of the second. The first pitch to Morgan is missed for a ball, so 1-0 is the count coming from Bryce Fisher, who is on pitch number 12 on the next one.
Yeah, he had a very efficient first inning, setting them down on 10 pitches. The first 2 batters were set down on 4 and then got the 3-hitter to a full count and then ended up getting him to pop out to first base on a very nice play by Drew Camp. So he deals the 1-1. That misses low, so 2-1 here to Morgan with nobody out in the top of this second inning.
Morgan coming up as the leadoff batter for the frame, the cleanup batter in the lineup. And here comes the 2-1. That one misses more towards the right-hand batter's box. Morgan is a lefty, so the count will go up to 3-1 for Morgan here in this opening plate appearance of the second frame. Fisher sets and deals the 3-1. That one comes in, and it'll be a strike, and Morgan looks on with confusion. He thought that was ball, but the home plate umpire said otherwise, and we now have a full count here coming to the third baseman, Morgan, as Fisher sets and deals the payoff. That one will be popped and fouled out of play on the third base side. So the count remains where it is at a payoff to Wyatt Morgan.
Yeah, and that's the second pitch so far this game that the hitters did not agree with. The first one was Drew Camp's strikeout looking. I don't think he thought that was a strike. It looked to hit the top part of the zone, but I don't think he thought it did, as that one is checked. It was a check swing by Morgan, but he fouled it off to the left side, so the count will remain at 3-2. But going back to my point, Morgan thought he has already walked in this at-bat, but he's fighting here on 3-2 against Bryce Fisher. as the Rebels look for their first base runners. This one's popped up. Looks to be playable by Popple or Campbell. Popple makes the call, and he makes the play on a nice running grab down the third baseline. I thought Campbell was going to call him off because he had a better look to that one, but Brody made a very, very nice play to record out number 1 here for Bryce Fisher as the catcher Benjamin Stevens is coming to the plate. He's a righty, 6 foot, 227 pounds. He's a rising junior out of Capital University. So he's looking to get the Newmarket Rebels on the board either via a walk or a hit as they search for their first base runner. As Fisher deals, and that one's across for a strike, so 0-1 here.
And I would like to say it looked like Popple almost had like his back like in a curve, like he was trying to really get his sights on the ball. So well played by Popple as that one is fouled on the first base side. Hits the netting, 0-2 count now coming to Benjamin Stevens, who on the season is 3 for 14. That's a 214 batting average, 1 RBI out of the 3 hits. So Fisher will set up on the mound. 0-2 count coming, 1 out down. Here comes the pitch. That one will miss upstairs, ball 1. Count is 1-2. Now coming to Benjamin Stevens. Bottom of the first in Purcellville versus the Turks in game number 2. It is no score yet from either team as that one is popped. Bouncing ball to Connor Frost. The play to Camp will be made in time for out number 2. As that brings up Michael Coyne, the shortstop for the Rebels this evening. In the meantime, at Central High School's baseball field, it is the Riverman 1, the Express 0, 1 versus 2 over in Woodstock. Also at Waynesboro, it is a 2-0 score between the Generals and the Tom Sox. In that game, again, the Generals took game 1 7-4, and I believe the Turks took game 1 between the no, my apologies. It was the Cannons that took game 1 4-3 versus the Turks earlier. As the 1-0 comes in from Fisher, make it 2-0 now as that one misses outside. 2 outs down in this top half of the second. No score yet from either team. The Cardinals did record a hit earlier on in the bottom half of the first inning. Michael Coyne at the plate. Bryce Fisher the mound. 2-0 coming. That one goes down the strike zone. Call it strike 1. 2-1 count coming on the next pitch with 2 outs down in this top half of the second. No score yet from either team. Rebels hitless so far. Cardinals with 1 as Fisher deals the 2-1. That one misses ball 3. So the count is 3-1 now to Michael Coyne. And it's also worth mentioning that the Rebels have not gotten a player on base yet, and with a 3-1 count, it's possible that Coyne could be the first to break that 3-and-out streak that the Rebels have. Here comes the 3-1. That's cracked, bouncing ball, fielded at second. No, it will get through. That is hit number 1, and it gets past the second baseman, Connor Frost. So that will be the first bit of on-base action for the Rebels here. I'm going to guess they'll score that as an error as it got past the glove of Connor Frost.
They scored an error.
And for some reason, they scored it.
No, they scored it the right way. Never mind.
Yeah. They scored it the right way.
I think you were looking at the Cardinals hit column.
Yeah, I was looking at the Cardinals hit column like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, no, Connor Frost just came up on that too early. I think he was trying to play that a little too aggressively. He didn't really try and get his body in front of it or get close enough where it would have been an easier play. And he just came up on it too early. Ball got beneath his glove, so definitely an error for sure, as that should have been an out. Mm-hmm. And now coming to the plate is number 31, Blaine Deaton. He is the first pitcher that we are going to see hitting today.
They've got Jet Jackson, the 7th batter in the lineup, coming up. In fact, is number 12. He sits 0-2 after a cut and a miss, and I believe looking one.
Oh, I don't know why. I saw Deaton on deck, number 31. I didn't see 12 in the box. I saw Deaton. I think he was coming up and getting the bat, so I saw him walking to the plate.
Right. It's all good. Here comes the 0-2. That is a cut and miss. Call it strike 3. Popple makes the throw in the meantime to first. That play
Look at the hustle there from the pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not bad speed going down the line.
Yeah, no kidding. So out number 3 is recorded after an error. So still no hits recorded by the Cardinals. No matter how the Rebels. Or by the Rebels, my apologies. No hits given up by the Cardinals. There we go. That makes more sense. 1 error stands on the board for the Cardinals, as does a hit. The Rebels yet to put anything in those columns, but both teams have yet to put a run on the board as we take a sideline here on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network, and we return to you right after these messages.
Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County.
The Wines Family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take our care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
We welcome you back to Bing Crosby Stadium to a scoreless ball game in this bottom half of the second inning. In the meantime, the Cardinals will call up their 5th batter in the lineup, Christian Campbell, the third baseman, righty, 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore out of South Georgia College, hometown of Rankin, Georgia, will face ball on the first one. 1-0 is the count coming to the third baseman on the next one from Gustafson. Here it comes. He will crack that one down the third baseline. Past the third baseman, Morgan, for a base hit. Christian Campbell picking up hit number 2 for the Cardinals. Make it number 1 on the night for him and number 14 out of 60 on the season.
Yeah, he hit that ball hard, and it was a weird chopper that I think took a weird hop as soon as it got to Morgan. So tough play, definitely ruled a hit, not an error. As with Christian's speed, I don't know if the play is made or if Campbell's able to beat that one out. So definitely a hit for Campbell. As that one is taken low for a ball by Carlton Harper, looking to bunt that one, but pulled back since it was a ball. So Harper looking for hit number 3 for the Cardinals and hit number 14 on the season for him, as the Cardinals look to take an early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second, as that one is over for a strike. This is the second time that the Cardinals have had their leadoff hitter on base for the inning. They did not scratch across a run in the first. They stranded Brody Popple at second, so hopefully they can change that and put a run on the board.
Here comes the 1-1, rather, going back to first from Gustafson. That one will not be in time. So Campbell still at first. No score from either team. 2 hits in the favor of the Cardinals. 1-1 count coming to Carlton Harper from Gustafson. That one will miss ball 2. So the count is 2 balls and a strike here for Carlton Harper, who is 13 for 59 on the season. That is a .220 batting average. Got 2 RBIs in the process of his 13 hits. So Gustafson sets on the mound. Looks back at first. Will deal the 2-1. That one is fouled on the third base side. So the count evens now, down count 2-2 to Carlton Harper in plate appearance number 1 this evening.
Yeah, and Cameron, I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of looked like on that play to Connor Frost, and just in general, the Cardinals looked kind of sluggish. I mean, I know it's a very humid and hot day today. I think it's at 90 degrees the last time I checked, and it's very, very, very humid because we have the window open for the microphone, and you can just feel how humid it is. And normally the AC overpowers it, but not today, or at least for me. So it is humid, but the Newmarket Rebels are playing with the same, I guess, atmosphere. So there's really no excuse to be sluggish because they're dealing with the same thing as this one's chopped. The pitcher, Gustafsson, makes a very nice play going behind him, behind the mound on the chopper to set and fire after making the play. He does get the out at first, so 1 out here, but the runner does get to second base, so Sam Dagger's coming up with a runner on second, but it might just be because the energy's just kind of fading away with the season coming to an end. Playoffs in reach, but not certain for the Cardinals, and it's just 40. This is the 41st game, so a lot of games played on these players can be very, very taxing, especially with the amount of injuries they've had. Some players coming in and playing a lot without really having the chance to ramp up their innings slowly, but just kind of go straight into playing every single day because of those injuries. So hopefully they can push through it and get a win today as Gustafsson looks back to second and deals the 0-1. That one's grounded onto second, looks to be playable. The throw onto first is in time. The play made by the second baseman, originally a pitcher, number 8, Braden Hovater. Did a very nice job on that ground ball to wait back and throw and get it on a big hop, which most pitchers won't know to do on a ground ball, so good job to him as Connor Frost comes to the plate.
Daggers going down 0 for 1, make it 13 for 55 on this season. That calls up Connor Frost, sitting 143 on the season. The first pitch to him in the meantime misses for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. Got a leading run 90 feet away from the plate. It is Christian Campbell. As the 1-0 comes in, it misses. Ball 2 is the call. Frost up in the count 2-0 with 2 outs down in this bottom half of the second. No score from either team. 2 hits recorded by the Cardinals, none yet by the Newmarket Rebels. 1 error going to the Cardinals, none to the Rebels as well. Here comes the 2-0. That one will miss downstairs as well. 3-0 is the count. So Connor Frost coming up 10 for 70. Again, a 142 batting average. 6 RBIs out of his 10 hits. So here comes the 3-0. And that one will be called strike 1. Count is 3-1 now, coming to Connor Frost on the next one. 2 outs down, got the runner 90 feet away from the Cardinals, taking the lead here. Here comes the 3-1. That is popped but fouled on the first base side. Boy, if that one would have been straight, that would have been an RBI.
Yeah, probably doubled down the line if he could have straightened that one out, but he did not, so it's now 3-2 here to Connor Frost.
There are 2 outs down in this bottom half of the second. Payoff coming to Connor Frost from Eric Gustafsson for the Rebels this evening. Here comes the payoff, and that'll be cut on and missed, strike 3, and the Cardinals go down with yet another runner on base. This time, Christian Campbell is the runner, making it to third instead of Brody Popple previously making it to second, and the side retires there. So no score in 2 complete as we take a sideline here on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Stick around with us on StretchMinute.com and the Royal Examiner, your home for the Cardinals all season long on this 2022 campaign.
This is a brief in-game reminder that the Valley Baseball League will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, national origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, citizenship, and/or military or veteran status. The Valley Baseball League supports all of our teams in addressing these issues at their individual ballpark. Thank you for being a good support and enjoy the game.
It was a code 10, hard water again. Worst part is Claire was unaware.
Hey, Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
Okay, are you 90?
I'm not.
Okay, secondly, how do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water? What? And thirdly, how do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
Goodly. I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water. Stay soft, right?
You stay soft.
Good water doesn't just come to you. Oh, wait. In this case, yes, it does.
The Wines family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
It is a scoreless ball game here going into the top half of the third here at David O. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium. Who's just joining us on the Front Royal Cardinals radio network. The Cardinals have been able to get runners on base, but have unfortunately not been able to convert them just yet. They've got 2 hits on the night with a hit coming in each frame. And the Rebels yet to record a hit, but also yet to record an error. The Cardinals have 1 on the night so far, as the Rebels will call up, it appears to be Blaine Deaton, the 8th batter in the lineup, and in fact is. So the 1-0 coming in from Bryce Fisher, will miss for ball 2. Don't know why I was going to say Daniel Johnson, but he pitched the last game we got to play here. So 2-0 is the count now. Here comes the pitch. That one will be fouled back. 2-1 count now coming to Blaine Deaton, who is appearing in his first game as a batter, as obviously he's a pitcher on any other given day. In fact, I believe he's pitched here. I remember calling his name at least once.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 2-1 in the meantime coming in. That one goes down the strike zone to even the count now at 2-2. Again, Blaine Deaton first at bat as a Rebel. As we just stated, he's marked as a pitcher. So really looking for his first bit of action here. Here comes the pitch. He grounds that one foul on the first base side. Will stay on the field. So the count remains where it is, 2-2. And also we'd like to say a thank you to our sponsors this evening, the Knights of Columbus and Christendom College, for their support. If you want to find out more about the Knights of Columbus, visit them at kofc.org. As the 2-2 comes in, misses 3-2. But if you want to find more about Christendom College, you can go online at christendom.edu. That is CHRISTENDOM.edu. Here comes the payoff from Fisher that is popped up, playable in foul territory. Rather not now, as Christian Campbell was the closest Cardinal to make the play, and I believe he even ran into the third base umpire out there. And in fact, we do have a foul ball sponsor tonight. Glad to find that out finally. Logan Matico Foundation is sponsoring this evening's foul balls. If you're not following the Cardinal, or haven't followed the Cardinals yet, rather, and you're new to the Cardinals organization, or if you're a new market Rebel, the Logan Matico Foundation was put in honor as Fisher gets another one. Make it 2 on the night, number 38 on the season. My brain just blanked there of all math. As Deaton goes back 0 for 1, that brings up Brayton Hoveter, who is up for his first at-bat as well in this season. But going back to the Logan Matico Foundation, the Logan Matico Foundation was set in stone by the family of Logan Matico, who was, I believe, the one that was killed in a car wreck responding to a emergency accident. Because there was 2. It's Brody. I think it
Brody
was.
Michael
Brody Michael was
Logan.
one, and then Logan Matico. Logan Matico was the one.
I believe it was.
Because I think it was this past fall where he was responding. Because for those of you that don't know the story, in the meantime, we got a 1-2 coming from Fisher. But if you don't know the story, actually, we can wait since Fisher is setting and dealing the 1-2. That one goes downstairs, ball 2. But if you don't know the story, a young man that had recently just graduated from Skyline High School in the county, Logan Matico, actually became a volunteer firefighter. I'm not sure if it was before or after he graduated, but he really got into it after, obviously, because he didn't have to worry about school. 2-2 comes in, and we'll get him looking. Strike 3. That is number 3 on the night by Fisher. Number 39 on the season. One more to christen that 40 strikeout season for Fisher. But anyway, Logan Matico coming into the or coming in to be a volunteer firefighter. I think he wanted to do that as a career if he hadn't started his professional career yet. I'm not quite sure exactly how that went. But nonetheless, he was responding to a fire call, I believe, in his own vehicle. And he was responding, can't remember if it was in or out of the county. I'm not going to say that for sure because I don't know. But he was responding to a fire call nonetheless and unfortunately got involved in an accident and unfortunately lost his life because of that accident. And since then, the Logan Matico Foundation has been placed in his honor. And Skyline even decided to put a bell on their football field in honor of Logan. And every time the Skyline High School football team runs onto the field now, each player rings that bell in honor of Logan Matico, who also was a football player for the Hawks as well. As the first walk of the game will be recorded, it will go to the original leadoff batter, Tiger Borum. So walk number 1 on the night for Bryce Fisher, as that brings up Dom Popa to return to the plate. He didn't get anything in his first one. In fact, he struck out in the first one. So 0 for 1 on the evening with a strikeout. Sits 30 for 109. That is a 275 as the first pitch to him in the meantime misses for ball 1.
And I was just going to say before you went into the Logan Matico Foundation, the Bryce Fisher he struck out the first 2 batters of the inning, which he should because the last 3 batters in this Newmarket lineup are all pitchers. So those should be easy outs for Bryce Fisher on the mound, as he recorded two of his 3 strikeouts to the final 3 batters in the Newmarket lineup. But now the lineup has flipped, and it's a 2-0 count to Dom Papa with Tiger Borum standing on first base.
Here comes the 2-0 that is cracked into center, drops for a base hit. It is the first hit of the game for the Rebels. And in the meantime, Lunnan trying to make the throw back to second to get the runner Borum out, but unfortunately didn't get that play to go in time. As Kyle Joy comes up, there are runners on first and second. The first runner was walked. The second one just got the hit. So it's the first hit of the game for the Rebels. No score yet from either team. There are 2 outs on the board. Fisher coming up with pitch number 41 on the night here. As he will set up, looks back at second. Nobody home to play. Here comes the pitch. He will cut and miss on that one. Strike 1. Nothing. He wanted to start things off here for Kyle Joy in plate appearance number 2 on this muggy Sunday evening.
Muggy indeed. I mean, earlier I was literally just standing outside and I was sweating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very, very humid today. It's very hot, so it's going to be tough for players to fight through the urge to move slower today, as stealing a base is Tiger Borum, but the runner on first base, Dom Papa, stayed put. So first and third here for the Newmarket Rebels as they look to scratch across a run here.
1 ball and 2 strikes coming to Kyle Joy. In the meantime, we got a throw back to first. It is not in time. Borum on third threatens with a steal home, but he will turn around and go back with the threat from Drew Camp to make the throw. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs down, top of the third, no score yet. The Rebels have 1 in scoring position, 90 feet away. Fisher sets and deals, runner goes, and it'll be a foul ball. So the runner, Dom Popa, will have to turn around and go back. But now Joy faces a 1-2 with 2 outs down in this top half of the third. Again, no score from either team. The Rebels did get a hit, and the scoreboard does not read it. It should say 2-1, and it says 2-0, which, I mean, is not right. Fisher looks to set. Got runners on first and third. 1-2 count coming, 2 outs down. Kyle Joy in the box. Here comes the 1-2. That'll be popped up. Looks to be playable into center. J.R. Lennon reading it. And he will make that catch, and the side retires. So the Cardinals have now done what the Newmarket Rebels have done to them 2 straight times and stranded runners. But this time they've not stranded 1, but 2 on first and third. As we take a sideline here going into the bottom half of the third, it's a scoreless ball game for the Cardinals and the Rebels.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
You're listening to Cardinals Baseball on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals radio network.
Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County.
Welcome back to David L. Wines Field here at Bing Crosby Stadium as we go into the bottom half of the third. No score yet from either team, but the Rebels have recorded their first hits of the game with a 2-1 gap between the Rebels and the Cardinals in the hit column. There is still no score as both teams have now given each other a taste of their own medicine by stranding runners either on second, third, or first and third, respectively. Those 2 first ones going to the Cardinals, the last one going to the Rebels in the previous frame. In the meantime, J.R. Lennon faces strike 1 on the first one to lead things off. 9 for 43 coming into this game with a 2.09. He's got 6 RBIs out of those 9 hits as the 0-1 comes in. That'll be a bouncing ball foul on the third base side. 0-2 count now to the leadoff batter playing in center this evening, J.R. Lennon.
If you guys can see on the Front Royal Examiner, the wild card Cardinal for the Front Royal Cardinals, the mascot, is making his rounds to all the children and families that have come here on this night, sponsored by Christendom College and Knights of Columbus, as typically when they do sponsor, we get a bigger family crowd rather than just, girlfriends, boyfriends coming or older folks. You get a lot of families coming to the game. So J.R. London strikes out here, so it's 1 out, setting up Brody Popple with nobody on. He got a base hit in his first at-bat. He looped one into right field to lead off the game for the Cardinals. He was then stranded on second base in that first inning.
Funny you mentioned the base hit with Brody Popple. In the last 2 frames, the Cardinals have had their leadoff batters hit obviously in the leadoff position, and with J.R. Lennon going down as the leadoff batter in this frame, that breaks that streak for the hits, as both hits that the Cardinals have recorded have come off their leadoff batters in the frame. In the meantime, Popple 1 for 1 on the evening, facing a 1-1 count with 1 out down. There's ones everywhere right now. Here comes the 1-1 that bounces foul on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strike count now coming to Popple, who is 22 for 93 coming into this at-bat. That is a .237 batting average. So with that 1 hit, his batting average has gone up quite a little bit. He's got 9 RBIs on the season out of his 21 hits. Here comes the 1-2. That's popped into left. That looks to drop, and it will, rather right. It's a base hit number 2. That's the second straight hit for Brody Popple. Apologies if you could hear across the way, but that's better than having a mad crowd, at least. As Trent Jeffcoat comes up. Oh, my Lord. Just thinking about that. Jeffcoat coming up 0 for 1 on the evening, make it 33 for 92. That is a .359 batting average. 12 RBIs out of the 33 hits. No home runs yet on the season. First pitch in the meantime misses, ball one. Count is 1-0 to start things off here for the shortstop. In plate appearance number 2 on the evening.
Yeah, and that first one, just like the last one, just a little dunker into right field. So, again, another hit for Brody, and hopefully Trent can put him to second base even with an out here, as the throw over to first is not in time. But in his first at-bat, I believe he struck out. No.
I think
it was a pop out
out to left, I think.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was over towards left.
It was the fly out to left as he pops this one foul. So it was an unproductive out as Brody Popple could not advance, but hopefully he can at least get him to second base and set up Drew Camp with a runner on second and 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
In the meantime, that is another foul ball sponsored by the Logan Matico Foundation. As Jeffcoat sits in a 1-1 count. Pitch number 42, I believe, now coming up. And Gustafsson steps off the rubber for a second, now steps back on, sets up, looks back at first to Brody Popple. 1-1 count coming to Jeffcoat, 1 out, down. Here comes the pitch, and it's cracked and fouled again on the third base side. Out of play, 1-2 count now for Jeffcoat, who is looking for his first bit of action. He flew out earlier towards left. So looking to get on base and make it a productive at-bat here. As again, he went down in his first one and looking to rebound in his second one. 1-2 count, 1 out, down. Gustafsson on the mound, sets up and takes a long look back at first to Brody Popple. Will deal the 1-2, and that one will ping him in the back of his right shoulder. Yeah. Yeah.
It hit his back.
Yeah. Between the shoulder and more the back area. It was on the right side, so he got pinged. He will more likely, intentionally, what's the word I'm going for? Hold on. He will actually walk instead of taking that try to be like, yeah, I wear this. No, he just walked. He literally walked. That's the word I was going for. Literally walked. Jeez, I say that every day, and I couldn't think of what I was trying to say.
It looks like he's taking a little break as that one really hit him in a weird spot.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he's all right, because the last thing the Cardinals need for a playoff spot is yet another injury.
Mm-hmm. And they will signal head coach Clint Marsh to come over and take a look at him, and we'll stay on the air for a little bit longer. It looks like the trainer is coming out as well, but he is telling the trainer to go back because he says he is fine, but the trainer will remain on the field after taking a couple steps back. By the way, Cardinals baseball presented to you on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, your affiliates for the 2022 season of the Front Royal Cardinals radio network. And you can, I know it's short-lived, or the rest of the season is short-lived, whether the Cardinals go to postseason or not, but follow the Front Royal Cardinals radio network now on Twitter at FRCardsRadioNet if you want to find out what's going on. Again, that is FRCardsRadioNet. So Jeffcoat will remain on first after getting a few checks. Again, the trainer did not go as Jeffcoat wished for her to not come out, as he says he was fine. So play will resume as Drew Camp comes up to the plate, going 0 for 1 on the evening with a strikeout previously. Sitting now with a .267 on the season.
And I think that's the strikeout I was thinking of when I was thinking Jeffcoat. It was Drew Camp that struck out in the first at-bat on a fastball up and away. So he looks at a ball here. So 1-0 as the Cardinals look to scratch across their first run of the ballgame and the first run for either team. Here in the bottom of the third inning, as Gustafson looks back, and that one is hit into left field. That one gets through. Brody Popple's being sent around. The throw to the plate is up the line, so a run will score. Trent Jeffcoat will get to third, and the Cardinals scratch first here on Sunday afternoon as they take a 1-0 lead over the Newmarket Rebels as that one snuck through the hole at between third and short. So one out here, and JoJo Jackson coming to the plate, the right man at the plate for the Cardinals, as he leads in RBIs outside of Dallas Height, but Height is injured, so JoJo leads the active team in RBIs with 15 as Drew Camp stands on first following the single, and Jeff Coates stands on third as he went first to third on the single, and Brody scored. So 1-0 Cards.
Drew blew that ball by the shortstop just barely, and it gets the Cardinals on the board here 1-0. In the meantime, JoJo Jackson faces 1-0 on the next one from the pitch that misses the strike zone. There is one out down as runners threaten first and third, as respectively Drew Camp and Trent Jeffcoat on those bags. Gustafson sets on the mound, 29 strikes, 17 balls. The pitch goes up into the air, but it looks to be playable into center by Popa. The catch will be made as out number 2 is recorded. Jeffcoat looks to test the arm of Papa, as Camp in the meantime will make the trot to second as the throw from Papa gets to Gustafson, but he will drop that. Or my apologies, it was Deaton rather who's playing at first. He was out towards the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, he was the cutoff man in that scenario, and I guess the catcher, Stevens, told him to cut the ball off, but he just missed it, which kind of sucks for the Cardinals as Trent Jeffcoat easily would have scored knowing that happened, and even so, the throw was a little bit up the line either way, so I think Jeffcoat with his speed could have scored there, but he decided not to test it as 2 outs now for Christian Campbell. Nice block there by Stevens as the count moves to 1-0. So the Cardinals do not score a run on the fly ball to center field, but they do move up to Drew Camp does move up to second base, so it's now second and third with 2 outs instead of first and third. And Christian Campbell looking to get his second hit of the ball game as he hit one to third base, and it snuck by the third baseman. So hopefully he can do something similar and drive in these runners as he faces a 2-0 count. Very good spot to get a fastball here from Gustafson, but Gustafson only needs one more out. So with an open base and a lefty on deck, we'll see how he wants to attack Campbell as he throws out one over for a strike, now 2-1.
Campbell coming up with a 1-for-1 on the evening, make it 14 for 60 on this season. That's a .233 batting average. 7 RBIs out of his now 14 hits. As the 2-1 will be set up by Gustafson. Runners on second and third are Camp and Jeffcoat. Here comes the 2-1. That one stays in the area by Stevens, but it goes downstairs for ball 3. Count is 3-1. Again, another great block by the catcher Benjamin Stevens for the Rebels this evening. Certainly getting a lot of good looks back there in stopping that ball and keeping the runners where they're at. As the 3-1 comes in, that one's upstairs, ball 4. So the bags are now loaded with 2 outs down. Christian Campbell taking that 90-foot walk of fame, and that calls up Carlton Harper to the plate.
Yeah, and obviously Gustafson didn't want to load the bases, but not the worst thing to happen as Campbell did have a hit in the first at-bat, so he's seeing him well. But also with a lefty on deck in the form of Carlton Harper, he does have the lefty-lefty advantage. Even though Carlton's still a very good hitter, you always are excited to have that lefty-lefty matchup or that same-handed matchup rather than having to face the opposite side as Christian Campbell is on. So he fires the first one over for a strike, and he sets after getting his sign. He deals the 0-1. That one is looked at low for a ball, so 1-1 here on Carlton Harper.
2 outs down in this bottom half of the third. Cardinals lead 1-0 now over the visiting Newmarket Rebels here. In this final game, these two teams will meet in the 2022 season overall, as Word came out yesterday that Newmarket officially dropped out of playoff contention as the 1-1 comes in. It's fouled on the third base side, out of play, it appears. That thing left here
in a hurry.
I was going to say, faster than the speed of light.
You get them, you can keep them.
And that is another one presented to you by the Logan Manico Foundation.
So 1-2 from Gustafson to Harper. That one swung on and hits a second base. The ball is dropped. The throw on to first is not in time.
Trent Jeffcoat comes in to score. It is a 2-0 ball game off of an arguable error.
That was an error.
Second.
Yep. And that's just because there is a primary pitcher at second base in the form of, I think it's Hoveter. Yeah, first. So I think Braden Hoveter is at first base. And not to say that play shouldn't have been made either way. And not to say that ball wasn't hit hard. It was just hit right at him.
Mm-hmm.
But that should have been out number 3. But that just happens when you're running low on your roster for position players and you have to play a pitcher at second base. And not only did he drop the ball, but he went to throw it to second base and he bobbled it there. And then he went to throw it to first and he just didn't have enough time. So a run does score. The bases remain loaded with 2 outs here. And the Cardinals putting up run number 2 on the board as Sam Daggers comes to the plate. He swings and hits that one foul.
0-2 count now to Sam Daggers. 2 outs down in the bottom half of the third. 2-0 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals. This one certainly seems to have extended, but again, in the Cardinals' favor. I'm pretty sure a lot of Cardinals fans will take that after the win against Winchester on Friday. And then, of course, not playing Strasburg last night put a damper on things. But if you haven't noticed, the Cardinals will play Strasburg now tomorrow evening, and it just seems like this season is just
keeps going.
Just keeps going. And at this point, we just want the playoffs to start. But, I mean, we do want to see the Cardinals play and every team in the Valley League play because it's good for them. But then again, you got time limits as that one is fouled out of play. Count remains 1-2. But like I said, you want to make sure those players get back to where they're supposed to be in time. And I know a lot of players have those early college starts now, and that's going to really put a damper on things if they leave here, the 5th, the 6th, whatever it is. As Daggers cuts through that one and misses 4 strike 3, so the inning will retire, but not before the Cardinals get on the board first. It is a 2-0 ball game as we've played through 3 complete here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
You're listening to Cardinals Baseball on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
Overlooking the scenic Shenandoah River in a lovely sylvan setting, our campus is spacious, yet inviting, rich in culture, beauty, and history. It is a setting well-suited for our time-tested Catholic liberal arts curriculum, the same education that has inspired and produced the greatest men and women of Christendom over the past 2,000 years. Inside and outside the classroom, you will experience an integrated life. Here, you will strengthen your intellect in such a powerful way that you will have the ability to master any subject, no matter how complex the vocational calling. You will thrive in a supportive and Christ-centered culture dedicated to helping you realize your potential. Our education is not an education for the faint of heart, but for those willing to accept the bold and challenging call from God to become the great men or women that He wants them to be. Dare to join us. Dare to be great.
Going into the top half of the fourth here at David L. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium. It is a 2-0 ball game in the favor of the home-standing Front Royal Cardinals here at Bing Crosby Stadium. If you're just joining us on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, either StretchNet.com or the Royal Examiner is where you're listening or watching as we get set and ready to start the top half of the fourth inning. The Rebels, in the meantime, will call up Wyatt Morgan, the original cleanup batter, to lead things off. And a reminder that our foul balls this evening are presented to you by the Logan Matico Foundation. The Logan Matico Foundation has been established to continue the legacy of Logan Matico. Logan was loved by all of his friends, family, and community, and was known for spreading love to everyone he interacted with. If you want more information on what this foundation does, you can visit them on Facebook at Logan Matico Foundation, or you can visit them online at loganmaticofoundation.squarespace.com. I believe the link you really could type in is Live Like Logan 14 or something like that. But then in the meantime, as Scott out to center, J.R. London makes the grab, and out number 1 is recorded on the leadoff batter. In fact, the website you could go to make it easier is livelikelogan14.com.
Coming in to play second base for the Cardinals, don't know if you've already mentioned that, is going to be Brennan Chisholm.
Didn't even notice.
I saw him in the on-deck circle for Connor Frost last inning before Sam Dagger struck out. I was going to say something, but then Dagger struck out. So Brennan Chisholm is a righty-righty, 5'10", 170 pounds out of Canisius College. He's a rising senior there. His hometown is North Chatham, North Chatham, Massachusetts. So Fisher gets the first out there as Stevens swings through strike 2. So 1 out early here for Bryce Fisher, as that was pitch number 60 on the night. That one's fouled back to the right side, so the count remains 1-2.
Fisher coming into this game with a 3.03 ERA, 35 2/3 under his belt with 36 strikeouts. Then he's recorded, I believe, 4 now to make it 40. He in fact has. And the 1-2 coming in will be missed, ball 2.
I was going to say make it 5 as soon as he threw that pitch, but I guess that pitch missed up as Stevens is ready for the 2-2. Fisher deals that one's hit foul down left field line. Definitely hit well, so we'll see what Fisher does here, as it looked to be a fastball, so he might go off speed, as Fisher looks for strikeout number 5 here in the 2-2 count. That one's low and
pings the dirt in front of the plate. Actually,
I thought that hit him for a second too. I thought it hit the batter, which it would still be a hit by pitch.
Yeah.
So it is 3-2 now to Bryce Fisher, as he's looking to complete 3 2/3 innings on Stevens right here.
Here comes the payoff from Fisher. That is bouncing ball fouled on the third base side. So the count remains where it is. There'll be another payoff coming to Benjamin Stevens, the catcher this evening for the Rebels. And if you haven't noticed, the Rebels lineup has been thinned out. There are 14 players for the Rebels now. And he will cut and miss on that one, strike 3. Brody Popple makes the throw to first for out number 2. So that will take 2 down and bring 1 more up in the form of Michael Coyne for the Rebels this evening. Coyne coming up 0 for 1 on the evening with a 154 batting average. But again, if you haven't noticed, the Newmarket Rebels lineup has been thinned out greatly. You'd say roughly 25, 30 players in a Valley League season, maybe more, maybe a little less than that. But they're down to 14 in this home stretch of the season. And if you didn't hear last night or yesterday or whatever time the announcement came out,
it was yesterday that they officially dropped out.
Newmarket has officially dropped out of the playoffs for the Valley League this season, which really sucks because they did good a couple of years ago. They had a championship run, I believe it was 2018, if not 2019. As that one is popped. No, I think Charlottesville won in 2019. Fisher makes the catch and the throw to first. Will flip by Drew Camp. So the runner Coyne will make it to second off of a missed play at first.
That was a ball in the dirt that Fisher just didn't really throw it. He just kind of lollygagged it over there. And it really shouldn't have been a close play at all. But because Fisher kind of took his time to throw it, because in those situations you don't want to throw it too hard or overthrow the guy, so he took some off of it and changed how he threw it to first, and he ended up throwing it away. So runner will be on second base with 2 outs here after the error by Bryce Fisher.
2 outs on the board in this top half of the fourth, 2-0
That
ball
one's
game.
well.
And that one's going back. Go to the wall, and it
He just gave up a home run to a pitcher.
Gone.
Jet Jackson, listed as a pitcher for the Newmarket Rebels, just hit a home run off of Bryce Fisher to make it a 2-2 ball game following the error by Bryce Fisher. So,
are you kidding? A pitcher to a pitcher, and it goes yard. Jet Jackson might just be the player of the game for the Rebels right now. As he gets the Rebels back into this ball game, basically making it a 0-0 game. We're back to square one with a 1-0 count coming to Deaton, Blaine Deaton at the plate now. 0 for 1 on the evening. As the 1-0 comes in, he will cut and miss on that one. Strike one is the call. 1-1 count now. Top half of the fourth now, a 2-2 ball game, so count it 0-0 if you will. 1-1 is cut on and missed for strike two. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Deaton. And how disorienting do you think it is for a pitcher to cut and miss on something at the plate and be like, I should have read that better or something along those lines? Because it's got to be frustrating. Did that ping him? It certainly did. Deaton will take the 90-foot walk of fame off of an HBP. That calls the ninth batter in the original lineup, Braden Hoviter, to the plate.
Yeah, and Hoviter allowed the Cardinals to score that second run in the bottom of the third inning. But the Newmarket Rebels have bounced back and scored 2 here in the top of the fourth after a 2-run home run by Jet Jackson. And I'm just looking now. This is the second game in which Jet Jackson has hit. So in his second game, he goes deep off of Bryce Fisher, who's been very, very good for the Cardinals so far this year. And it is an unearned 2 unearned runs because the error by Fisher should have ended the inning. So not only did he allow a pitcher to go deep off of him, but the inning was extended because of an error that he committed. So tough inning so far for Bryce Fisher, as that one's fouled to the right side. It's 1-1 here with 2 outs after Bryce Fisher hit the runner on first base, Blaine Deaton, who is also listed as a pitcher.
1-1 comes in and is fouled away. 1-2 count coming up. In the meantime, we'd like to say a thank you to our game sponsors this evening, the Knights of Columbus and Christendom College, for their support of Cardinals baseball this season and certainly bringing the crowd. And thank you to our foul ball sponsor, the Logan Matico Foundation. And we also like to say a thank you to our broadcast sponsor yesterday evening, Christina Townsend Weishert. This time she got her message out, but unfortunately it wasn't during a game. So I'm not sure if they're gonna renew that for tomorrow night or they're just gonna say, yep, you got your publicity, whatever. And also like to say a thank you to the Goggenauer Sawmill Company, who was supposed to sponsor the Home Run Derby and didn't get their word out. So thank you for your intended support of the Home Run Derby to those at Goggenauer Sawmill Company. And again, our apologies, you didn't get your word out then, but we're trying to get it out now as a payoff is coming to Hoviter with 2 outs. Here comes runner goes. That will be ball 4.
Yeah, and Bryce Fisher has struggled against the pitchers. We're not talking he's struggling against some of the position players. He's struggling against some of the pitchers that have not really had at-bats so far this year, and neither have most of the hitters that are in the lineup, because if you look, most of them have, I would say, 15, 20, maybe 30 at-bats, as Tiger Borum coming into this game with 21 at-bats. So these guys, It sucks that the Newmarket Rebels, a lot of the guys have gotten injured or gone home, but at least for the guys in the lineup today, they're getting a lot of at-bats that they weren't getting earlier in the season, as we just had a slight pitching visit from Clint Marsh as Sean Munoz is walking over to the bullpen for the Front Royal Cardinals, as, again, the leadoff hitter, Tiger Borum, steps up to the plate. He was out on his first at-bat as he flew out to right field, but then walked in his second at-bat, so hopefully Fisher can settle down here and get this final out of this fourth inning.
Here comes the opening pitch of the at-bat. That one is popped up, playable into center, chasing over J.R. London to our left, his right. The catch will be made as the side is retired, but not before the Rebels make it a tie game at 2-2 strikes apiece. As we take a sideline here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, we return to you right after a word from our sponsors.
Woods Cove Assisted Living has been working with families for over 15 years to offer quality care to patients who need additional support. We concentrate on working with our residents in need of this kind of support in delivering health care and other essential services in the solace of their new home. Our demonstrated track record of providing improved quality of life for our residents is evident in the satisfaction our families feel and the contentment our residents experience daily. We focus on quality health care that is family-centered and involve you, their family, in their health care plan. We understand that the services we provide should reflect the care a family member would afford our residents. Contact us at 540-636-6611 or visit us at 201 West Kreiser Road in Front Royal. At Woods Cove, your family is our family.
Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County.
And welcome you back to David L. Wines Field here at Bing Crosby Stadium as we go into the bottom half of the fourth. It is a tie ball game now at 2 runs apiece for the Cardinals and the Rebels, as the leadoff batter for the frame will be Brennan Chisholm coming in to play for Connor Frost in the previous offensive set for the Cardinals. As the 0-1 comes in, that one will get him looking 0-2 is the count now. Chisholm coming up 5 for 44. That is 113 in his batting average. 2 RBIs on the season, no home runs yet. Here comes the 0-2. That one will miss ball 1. Count is 1-2 now to Chisholm on the next one.
I will say, even though the Rebels are short on their roster for players, the catcher Stevens has done an excellent job behind the plate, blocking balls, keeping it in front. That one was less important, as it could have been drop third strike if Chisholm swung over it, but he didn't swing, so it didn't really matter. But when there were runners on, he did a very, very good job, as that one's poked into left field for a base hit. A little line drive that fell off the end of the bat, so nice for Brennan Chisholm to get that hit right there. That's his 6th of the season. He's now 6 for 45, but as I was saying, the catcher Stevens has done a very, very good job to keep the ball in front and make sure that runners were not advancing or scoring in the last half or the last at-bats for the Cardinals, as they had the bases loaded, and he blocked probably 3 or 4 pitches as Gustafson deals. It's a bunt down the third base line. The throw on the first is up the line. So it will be a bunt hit for J.R. London, using his speed right there to not only move the runner over to second, but get on first with a very, very nice drag bunt for a hit. So Brody Popple, who's already 2 for 2 with 2 singles to right field, is looking to go 3 for 3 and knock in the Cardinals' third run as Brennan Chisholm stands at second base with nobody out here and J.R. London on first. I would not be surprised to see Brody Popple bunt. He's showing bunt right here. Pulls back and swings. So that one's through the right side. That's going to be his third hit of the night. The throw onto the plate is not in time. Brennan Chisholm scores. It's 3-2 Cardinals, and J.R. London moves over to third base.
Brody Popple popping that one to get the RBI as it records hit number 7 for the Cardinals, and I believe that is 3 for 3 on the evening for Popple. It indeed is. So his batting average in this game will take a skyrocket of a trend upwards, which I think he will be definitely satisfied going into Strasburg tomorrow. Just saying, as Trent Jeffcoat comes up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 on the evening, got hit in the last one. The throw to third is not in time as Popple makes the chase to second, trying to get J.R. London out at third. Runners now threaten second and third, so 1, possibly 2 in scoring position, depending on what Trent Jeffcoat can do, followed by Drew Camp and JoJo Jackson are the next 3 due up with no outs on the board in this bottom half of the fourth. And that one will pop into shallow center. 1 run comes home. It's in the form of J.R. London. Trent Jeffcoat picking up hit number 1 on the night, number 1 in the RBI column as well. Trent bent the bat to bring London home. It is a 4-2 ball game now in the favor of the Cardinals, and Arthur Stenberg has seen enough. He will come out and at least have a word with Eric Gustafsson. No word yet on if he signaled to the bullpen just yet, but we will take a look. There are some Rebels walking on the warning track on their side.
He does make the call to the bullpen right now.
He just made that call. So we will take a sideline here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, and when we return, we will identify the new pitcher coming in for the Rebels. Back with you on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, consisting of StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, the flagship affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network for this 2022 campaign. We'll be back with you right after this.
This is a brief in-game reminder that the Valley Baseball League will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, national origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, citizenship, and/or military or veteran status. The Valley Baseball League supports all of our teams in addressing these issues at their individual ballpark. Thank you for being a good support and enjoy the game.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
Your local Lindsay Chevrolet dealer of Front Royal is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Your next new or pre-owned vehicle awaits you at Lindsay Chevrolet. There are many options of Chevy vehicles to help anyone find new roads. Choose Lindsay Chevrolet. You'll love it at Lindsay.
The Wines family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take our care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
It was a code 10, hard water again. Worst part is Claire was unaware.
Hey, Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
Okay, are you 90?
I'm not.
Okay, secondly, how do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water? What? And thirdly, how do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
Goodly. I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water. Stay soft, right?
You stay soft.
Good water doesn't just come to you. Oh, wait. In this case, yes, it does.
welcome you back to David L. Wimes Field at Bing Crosby Stadium. We return to play in this bottom half of the fourth as the Cardinals have entered the frame in a tie and have now taken a 2-run lead with no outs on the board. As the first pitch comes to Drew Camp, the new pitcher is Adam Frump, right-handed pitcher, 5'7", 185-pound sophomore out of Capital University, hometown of Blanchester, Ohio. Deals 1-0 on this one. As he sets up and deals it, that one goes down the strike zone. Strike one is the call. Count is even now at a down count, 1-1 for the first baseman, Drew Camp. Gustafson ending after 3 complete, giving up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of the 4 being earned, a walk, and 4 strikeouts with facing 20 batters on the evening. 1-1 count coming in as Camp cuts and misses. Strike 2 is the call. 1-2 count now, no outs down. Brody Popple at third. Trent Jeffcoat at first off of the previous RBI that brought J.R. Lennon home. Brody Popple also picking up an RBI previously. Now a 4-2 ball game for the Cardinals, who have the advantage now. They also lead 8-2 in the hit column, and not the best statistics, but 2-1 they lead in the error column. As the throwback to first was quick, but not in time, as Jeffcoat slides to remain safe. 1-2 count coming in the meantime to Camp, who is 1 for 2 on the evening. Make it 29 for 106. That is a 274 batting average, 11 RBIs in the process, as that one looks to miss. Count goes even at 2-2 for Drew Camp.
And again, another nice block by Stevens, not on that pitch, but on the swing and miss by Drew Camp on the pitch before to keep the runner Trent Jeffcoat at first. Jeffcoat fakes, steals, that one gets by. Stopped enough that Brody Popple can't come home, but Trent Jeffcoat advances to second base, so the double play is out of order. And Drew Camp now has a 3-2 count on him with nobody out, runners on second and third. Cardinals already scoring 2 in this inning, but looking to extend that lead as they hope to extend their playoff push as well. Right now, they hold the last playoff spot in the North Division. They're up a half a game over the Winchester Royals as that one swung and hit the third. He checks on the runner at second. The throw on the first is in time, but Brody Popple does score, so it makes it a 5-2 ball game for the Cardinals. So Camp out at first. Jeffcoat remains at second, but Popple scores, so 5-2 Cardinals. But as I was saying, the Cardinals are up a half a game over the Winchester Royals, and a win here will extend it to a full game. And then with 1 game remaining tomorrow for the Winchester Royals, it will be a matter of who can win their game. If the Cardinals win this one and win tomorrow, they're automatically in. If they win today but lose tomorrow, they hope for the Winchester Royals to lose in order to secure their playoff spot. As JoJo Jackson takes strike 1, he comes in, I believe, 0 for 2 with, I know one of them is a fly ball to center, and
I can check you.
He does not have a strikeout.
No, he does not. You're correct. So he got out.
I know he doesn't have a strikeout. I think he has a fly ball to center, and I believe another fly ball either to right or
I think it
might have been to right field.
I think it was to right.
Either way, he stranded Brody Popple at second base to end the inning in the first inning.
Yep.
And Jeffcoat on second, so hoping to get him over as the ball gets by Stevens right there. Jeffcoat gets to third, so 90 feet away stands Trent Jeffcoat as JoJo Jackson looks for a fly ball to drive him in.
JoJo Jackson coming up 0 for 2, facing a 1-1 count with 1 out down in this bottom half of the fourth. 5-2 ball game. Again, you can find out more about upcoming games on the Front Royal Cardinals website, on the Valley League website, but also on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network Twitter page at FR Cards Radio Net. As Jackson faces 2-1 in the next one as the pitch misses the strike zone. 2-1 is the count. Again, 1 out down with Trent Jeffcoat standing at 90 feet away from the dish as it's a 5-2 ball game, looking to make it 6 with only one out down. JoJo Jackson rounds the circle around the plate. He will step back into the left-hand batter's box. Again, JoJo Jackson is a switch hitter, so possibly going to switch if we get a different pitcher in, possibly. Sorry, I lost my wording there for a second. Stumbled over my own words.
I was like, where's he going with this? Because he's just repeating the words, but not figuring out what he's saying with the word. Yeah,
I was basically going for a different pitcher and couldn't think, what's that word to describe another person? Different is the word. 2-2 comes. That one misses outside and low, ball 3. Count fills for the right fielder, JoJo Jackson, at 3-2 with one out down and a runner standing 90 feet away from making it a 6-2 ball game. Following JoJo Jackson is definitely Campbell and Campbell,
and then
possibly Harper
after that. Yeah,
if one of the two coming up does not get out in any way, as JoJo Jackson fouls that one back. Appeared to go off of maybe the knee guard or the shin guard of the catcher Stevens somewhere, because it did hit something, but fortunately for both Stevens and Jackson and the umpire as well, it didn't hit either of them in a bad place.
Yeah.
So count remains at a payoff. So this is the second straight of the at-bat for Jackson. One out down, bottom of the fourth, 5-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals. As the new pitcher, Adam Frump, sets up on the mound. Again, got a runner on third is Trent Jeffcoat. Here comes the payoff number 2. That one misses, ball 4. JoJo Jackson will take the 90-foot walk of fame as the throw back to third is not in time. So Trent Jeffcoat remains at third as that calls up Christian Campbell to the plate. I'm not sure what Paul was doing with that sound, but I like it.
He normally doesn't play the charge sound a lot, but
because I was like, wait a minute. That's not a walk-up song.
It works. It works.
It definitely did, because I heard some of the crowd saying, charge! I mean, one out on the board, bottom of the fourth. Runners on first and third now. JoJo Jackson and Trent Jeffcoat. In the meantime, Christian Campbell swings and misses on the first one. 4 strike 1. Nothing I want to start things off for Campbell in plate appearance, I believe, number 3 now, I believe.
Plate appearance 3, at bat 2.
He walked. Yep.
Because he walked in his last at bat and singled to left in his first at bat. As that one is up and in over the head of Campbell, as he did a good job to get the bat down and make sure it didn't hit the bat.
Speaking of a good job, Stevens did a great job keeping that ball contained. Didn't mean to cut you off if you were going to continue, but but if Stevens didn't, or if the ball was just a couple inches either to the left, or our left at least, or up just a little bit, he would not have made that catch.
Well, it's to his left too, because he's facing the same way.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't even take that into account. Throw back to first in the meantime while I figure out my sides is not in time as the 1-1 count comes in.
Right.
It takes me a minute. As the play at second is in time, the play at first is in time as well for a double play. So that will record 3 outs, but the Cardinals return to the leading position. 5-2 is the score going into the 5th. As we've played through 4 complete, Cardinals up 5-2. We'll take a break here on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network. When we return, the Newmarket Rebels will retake the offensive set here on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network.
TLC Settlements is a proud sponsor of the 2022 Cardinals. When buying, selling, or refinancing your investment, TLC Settlements, LLC believes that every transaction is important, no matter how big or how small. The trustworthy team of Tracy, Lucy, and Christy bring 55-plus years experience in the industry. We are dedicated to and take pride in the service that we give to each and every customer. Although we do many closings each month, every closing is very important to us. Our service speaks for itself at TLC Settlements. Your local Lindsay Chevrolet dealer of Front Royal is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Your next new or pre-owned vehicle awaits you at Lindsay Chevrolet. There are many options of Chevy vehicles to help anyone find new roads. Choose Lindsay Chevrolet. You'll love it at Lindsay.
We welcome you back to David L. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium as we've played through 4 complete frames of action here on Sunday Night Baseball. The Cardinals lead 5-2 after making it a close 2-2 for the Rebels in the top half of the 4th. Cardinals responded by taking the lead with 3 runs recorded in the bottom of the 4th. So again, playing through into 5 now, rather. 5-2 ball game as Dom Popa comes up with a 1-2, or rather 1 for 2 on the evening is the correct wording for that. Struck out in one and hit in the other as the opening pitch of the at-bat comes as a strike. Nothing in one to start things off here for Popa. And by the way, Bryce Fisher is still on the mound after 4 complete. And if you know that he had a pitching visit earlier on in the 4th, as that is a bouncing ball foul on the first base side. 0-2 count now to Popa. But Fisher did get a pitching visit from Clint Marsh, and we did see that Sean Munoz did go into the bullpen following that visit, but Fisher is still in this game, and with a win could possibly qualify for the win if it goes his way. But that is taking into account that he finishes this inning.
Yeah, so hopefully he can finish this inning and qualify for his 2nd win on the season. He's pitched very, very well, but has not had a lot of offensive support. But he has in this game with a 3-run lead in the top of the 5th. This one's hit onto center, playable for J.R. London. He drifts back and makes the play, so 1 out here for Bryce Fisher, but I'm sure this is probably going to be Bryce Fisher's last or maybe second to last inning if he could get through these batters fairly quickly, as he's already at pitch number 84. So that was pitch number 85 as Point Streak updates as soon as I say that.
Yeah, making us look like idiots.
I would also not be surprised if this is if the next batter could be his last, because typically when you get a pitching visit in the 4th inning, after struggling like he did to command the zone, 1, maybe 2 base runners, depending on how the at-bat looks, might finish his night early. But that's a foul ball, so 0-2 on Joy. Joy's playing right field tonight for the Newmarket Rebels.
And Joy picks up another foul ball presented to you by the Logan Matico Foundation. That's 2 straight in the last 2 at-bats. So thank you to the Logan Matico Foundation for supporting this evening's foul balls. If you want to visit them online, you can find them on Facebook at Logan Matico Foundation, or find them online at livelikelogan14.com. As the 1-2 comes in from Fisher, that one will miss for ball 2. So the count evens now down count 2-2 with 1 out down in this top half of the 5th inning. Kyle Joy coming up 0 for 2 on the evening. Make it 15 for 58. Counting those 2 previous at-bats, it's a 259. As the 2-2 comes in, it will miss for ball 3. So we have yet another payoff coming on this one. This one coming to the right fielder, Kyle Joy, in just a moment, as Fisher will set and deal the payoff. That one will make contact, go into left, chasing up Daggers, or rather Jeffcoat chasing back, will make the catch in shallow left for out number 2. And that brings up Wyatt Morgan, who is 0 for 2 on the evening. So a lot of Rebels, despite their success earlier on, are still looking for their first bit of action, regardless of how good the team has done to this point.
Yeah, and the only real problem for the pitcher Bryce Fisher was the error committed by, of course, Bryce Fisher in the last inning to extend the inning. That was with the 6-hitter Cone hitting. So 2 more batters until we get to him. And then after that, he allowed the 2-run home run to Jet Jackson. He hit the next batter, walked the next batter, and then got the leadoff hitter Tiger Borum out as he deals a 1-1. So 1-2 now, but Bryce Fisher has struggled with pitch count, which we have seen in earlier outings, not so much recently, as he's done a very good job staying close to the zone, but this one's struggling a bit more as a 1-2 is roped into right field. That one is foul down the line, probably missed by a few feet. So we will do it again, do the 1-2 yet again here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Rebels down to the Cardinals 5-2 in this so crucial game for the Front Royal Cardinals if they look to make the playoffs.
And if Morgan makes it to the bag, following him will be the catcher Benjamin Stevens as the 1-2 comes in, 2 outs. That one will get him looking. Strike 3 is the call. Out 3 is on the board as it comes up as strikeout number 6 on the evening for Fisher. So make it 42 on the season and possibly could be some of his last strikeouts we've seen. So he could end the season if we don't see him again with 42 strikeouts. We take a sideline here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network. When we return, we'll get back to the bottom half of the 5th. 5-2 ball game at Bing Crosby Stadium. Cardinals up to the visiting Newmarket Rebels.
Overlooking the scenic Shenandoah River in a lovely sylvan setting, our campus is spacious, yet inviting, rich in culture, beauty, and history. It is a setting well-suited for our time-tested Catholic liberal arts curriculum, the same education that has inspired and produced the greatest men and women of Christendom over the past 2,000 years. Inside and outside the classroom, you will experience an integrated life. Here, you will strengthen your intellect in such a powerful way that you will have the ability to master any subject, no matter how complex the vocational calling. You will thrive in a supportive and Christ-centered culture dedicated to helping you realize your potential. Our education is not an education for the faint of heart, but for those willing to accept the bold and challenging call from God to become the great men or women that He wants them to be. Dare to join us. Dare to be great.
Inspect Group, the country's largest home inspection company. We operate nationally across 24 MSAs, and our 30-year-old brand has delivered 3 million inspections. The best real estate brokerages in the country love us because we help their real estate agents get deals closed faster, and we protect their customers. We have a proven business model and positive EBITDA. With new investors, new management, new board, and new products, our mission is to make home inspections as simple and painless as ordering an Uber.
This message is brought to you by US Inspect. For more information, find them online at usinspect.com.
We'd like to thank our sponsors at US Inspect for their support of Cardinals baseball this season. Call your local US Inspect agent Scott Truax at 703-997-8332. Scott serves the region in Northern Virginia in the counties of Fauquier, Loudoun, Frederick, Clark, Warren, Page, Shenandoah, Madison, Culpeper, Orange, and Greene. In Maryland, he can cover Montgomery, Frederick, Washington, and Cumberland counties. In West Virginia, he covers Hampshire, Jefferson, Berkeley, and Morgan counties. Again, Scott Truax is your local U.S. Inspect home inspector. Give him a call at 703-997-8332 when things just aren't looking right in your home. In the meantime, we've got a 1-1 count coming from Adam Frump to Carlton Harper. Make it now 2-1 following that pitch. Number 20 on the night for Frump will be coming up as a 2-1 to the leadoff batter for the frame, Carlton Harper. 5-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals here in this bottom half of the 5th. Here comes the 2-1 pitch and is bounced. Umpire will call it a foul ball as it appeared to bounce in the batter's box before going into fair territory. So the count now evens now down count 2-2 to Carlton Harper. Harper DHing this evening for the Cardinals. Batting left, throwing right, 6'1", 200-pound senior out of Long Island University at post. hometown Canton, Michigan. He will fly that one, or rather that ball will get to first in time for out number 1. So 1 out on the board early for the Cardinals here in this bottom half of the 5th. They lead 5-2 over the visiting Newmarket Rebels, and that will call up Sam Daggers to the plate. So following Daggers is definitely Chisholm as the last of the third due up in this bottom half of the 5th.
After Chisholm is J.R. London, if either of those guys can reach. So the first pitch here is looked at for a strike. So slider on the outside corner. Strike 1 delivered by Adam Frump to Sam Daggers.
In the meantime, Percival taking Harrisonburg down so far, going into the bottom half of the 4th, 2-1 ball game. Percival did defeat Harrisonburg earlier 4-3. Also, in the meantime, the top-seeded Woodstock River Bandits of the North taking down the Express so far through 5 complete. It is a 4-1 ball game in the favor of the top-seeded River Bandits as Daggers cuts and misses on that one for strike number 2. And
well, that just changed.
Yep, it just changed 4-2 ball game.
As soon as you were leaving it.
As soon as I clicked off of it, it's a 4-2 ball game. Now as Strasburg puts another one on top of the 6th at Central High School. And a final from, or my apologies, that was from game 1. From game 2 between Waynesboro and Charlottesville. It's the bottom of the 4th. Tie ball game at 9 apiece. And again, you heard me correct. Bottom of the 4th. 18 runs between both teams, and they split them evenly so far. 3 runs in the 3rd for Charlottesville, 6 in the 4th, as the throw from short will not beat the runner Daggers. Getting it from a 2-2 out into the very deep infield. Picking it up was the shortstop for the Rebels, Coin, as Brendan Chisholm will come up, and that will allow J.R. London to possibly come up if nothing goes wrong in the infield for the Cardinals. Now with Daggers on first. Waynesboro did have the lead at 3-0 going into the top half of the 3rd. Charlottesville then tied it. Waynesboro then took the lead 5-3 in the bottom of the frame. Charlottesville then retook the lead at 9-5, and then Waynesboro tacking on 4 to tie the game, which they are still in the bottom of the 4th. 2 outs on the board. The batter Bogart facing a 2-2. But in the meantime, we've got a 1-0 count coming to Brendan Chisholm, who is 1 for 1 on the evening, sitting 6 for 45 coming into this at bat. That is a 133 batting average, 2 RBIs on the season out of his 5 hits. 2-0 now coming, or 1-0 now changing to 2-0, which is coming next from Frump on the 3rd pitch of the at bat. The runner on first is Sam Daggers for the Cardinals. Got Brendan Chisholm at the plate. The 2-0 going downstairs, ball at 3.
That one missed.
And the
no. It was a cross for a strike.
It was like a cross. Okay, I was about to say.
That one missed? That looked good. And
okay,
I thought I heard him call a strike.
Did he? Okay. I thought he called ball. But
no,
I could be wrong.
It's 2-1. It's 2-1.
Okay, so it is 2-1.
Because then he put up his fingers up for 2-1.
Yeah, I did see that after you mentioned it.
So now it's 3-1 after that pitch misses low and away to Brendan Chisholm. So 3-1 with a runner on first in the form of Sam Daggers following his infield hit as Brendan Chisholm looks for hit number 2. With the 3-1 coming, that one misses outside, ball 4. So Brendan Chisholm gets on first, moving Sam Daggers to second base, and J.R. London coming to the plate as he had a bunt single for a base hit. In his last at-bat, he did come around to score off of a Drew Camp single, or a Trent Jeffcoat single, rather.
I will say, point streak's not the only thing that can make me look like an idiot. I can just do it myself without even hesitating. 1 out on the board in this bottom half of the 5th. 5-2 ball game with runners threatening on first and second. One possibly in scoring position is Sam Daggers as J.R. London steps into the plate, or into the box, rather, at the plate. There we go. Frump looks back at second. Nobody home to make the play. First pitch, the at-bat goes down the strike zone, strike one. This time, I'm sure of it. For strike one, count is nothing. I want to start things off here for J.R. London, who is 1 for 2 on the evening. Make it 10 for 45. That is a .222 batting average. 6 RBIs out of his 10 hits. As Frump looks back at second twice. Nobody home. Make it 3 times now. 0-1 coming in. Misses ball 1 as both runners will advance a bag. Now runners threatening second and third. 1, possibly now 2 in scoring position with J.R. London, the center fielder, up to the plate looking for hit number 2 on the evening out of what would be 3 at-bats if he can get it to go. So the count is 1-1 for the center fielder, J.R. London, as Frump takes a step off and will step back onto the rubber, stares down to the batter, getting a sign from his catcher. He will set 1-1 count coming. Here comes the pitch. That one goes upstairs. Ball 2 is the call. 2-1 count now. 1 out down, bottom of the 5th. Runners threatening second and third, so 1, possibly 2 in scoring position. It is Sam Daggers and Brennan Chisholm, respectively, on third and second. Here comes the 2-1 that is cut on and missed to even the count now 2-2 for J.R. London. In plate appearance number 3 on this evening's game. He struck out before in his first at-bat, I believe. His second at-bat is where he got the hit. So he's looking to continue that streak, but with a 2-2 count facing him, 1 out down, runners on second and third. Here comes the pitch. He will foul that one back on the first base side, so the count stays where it is, 2 balls and 2 strikes for the center fielder, J.R. London. Following London is certainly Brody Popple, so we will reround the lineup for now, or what would be the 4th time now. And if Popple or J.R. London don't record an out, it will be Trent Jeffcoat to follow Popple as Frump sets on the mound following his sign. Brennan Chisholm stands directly behind him at second. Sam Daggers at third. Here comes the 2-2. That's crack bouncing ball to third. The play at first will be made, but that will not matter because the run will get in. Sam Daggers coming across the plate to make it a 6-2 ball game now for the Cardinals with 2 outs down in this bottom half of the 5th. They lead now by 4 as Brody Popple returns to the plate for the 4th time in this game, and he is coming up to keep a chance at a perfect game so far for him. Sits 3 for 3 on the evening, so looking for hit number 4 out of 4 at-bats. And one of his 3 hits have been a part of an RBI, and he scored off of 2 of the other ones.
Yeah, and Brody Popple getting hot at the right time as this is his second 3-hit game in the past, I guess, 3 games. Past 2 games because it was against Winchester.
Yep. I was getting ready to say, was it Winchester?
And we did not have the game yesterday, so that's back-to-back games with 3 hits for Brody Popple. So a very good sign for the Cardinals if they're able to make the playoffs as he swings through that one, making it 1-1.
2 outs down in this bottom half of the 5th. 6-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals. Been in the favor since the bottom half of the 4th. 9-2 in hits goes towards the Cardinals. 1-1 count comes the pitch. Not quite sure if that, if it would have hit him, he would have gone. But it didn't hit him, but it got very close to hitting him. So 2-1 is the count now for Brody Popple, who again is looking to keep his hit streak alive. 3 for 3 on the evening. He's made contact with the ball in every plate appearance so far this evening. And what better way to get a hit than to add another RBI to his now 10 RBIs on the season and bring Brennan Chisholm home off of a 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That one misses ball 3. So the count goes up for Popple even farther. 3-1. 2 outs down again, bottom of the 5th. 6-2 ball game with Brennan Chisholm standing on third. As Popple sets back into the left-handed batter's box, Frump sets on the mound after receiving his sign. 3-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That one's outside, ball 4. So Brody Popple's hit streak doesn't go bye-bye just yet, but then again, he doesn't get to extend it as he gets walked on plate appearance number 4 as Trent Jeffcoat will come up. 1 for 2 on the evening with an RBI, and he in fact did score following that hit. So 2 outs remain on the board in this bottom half of the 5th. Again, 6-2 ball game with a runner on third is Brennan Chisholm, standing 90 feet away as Brody Popple stands on first. Frump deals to Jeffcoat. In the meantime, Jeffcoat has to shimmy out of the way to miss being hit by that one. 1-0 is the count for the shortstop Jeffcoat here in plate appearance number now 4 following the hit by pitch earlier on in this game as well. He's 1 for 2 on the evening, but again, he did get hit earlier on in this game, and I believe he also may have gotten walked. I could be wrong about that, but I know he did get hit.
He got hit by pitch.
Okay, it was just a hit by pitch. In the meantime, 1-0 comes in, and it's 2-0 now.
Frump struggling to throw balls in the zone. He's either throwing it right down the middle or he's missing by a lot. So
maybe he's hoping to trick some people.
Well,
I'm not sure.
With the Rebels already such short staff that you really want them to go at least 2 or 3 innings before having to take him out. But luckily, this is their last game, so they can empty out the bullpen and not really worry about it. But there are guys that you don't want to overuse because their college coaches will not be happy that they were overused or used in back-to-back days or whatever the case might be.
I even thought there was a rule where you can't use a pitcher in back-to-back days. I mean, I know it's that way for high school, or at least you have to have a certain amount of days of rest before you can return to the mound, but I'm not sure if I think they do. It's like a certain amount of, for X amount of pitches, you have to rest X amount of days or something along those lines. I know that for a fact.
Either that or pitchers have their own rule about it, so
possibly. 2-1 comes in, misses ball 3. The fire to third, or second rather, is in time for the third out is where I was trying to go with that. So Brody Popple gets caught swinging, but that one gets caught stealing. My apologies, wrong word. Thank you for catching that, because like I said, I can make myself look like an idiot without hesitating.
I was like, did he just say swinging?
Yeah, I did. Stealing was the word I was going for. In the meantime, 6-2 ball game going into 6. I'm going to get a dictionary and figure out what words I'm trying to say. Cardinals baseball returns to you on the Stretch Internet and Royal Examiner, the affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals radio network. We return to you right after this.
This is a brief in-game reminder that the Valley Baseball League will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, national origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, citizenship, and/or military or veteran status. The Valley Baseball League supports all of our teams in addressing these issues at their individual ballpark. Thank you for being a good sport and enjoy your game.
Towing is a proud Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County.
And we welcome you back to David L. Wines Field here at Bing Crosby Stadium. We return to you to resume play in this top half of the sixth as Bryce Fisher is retired after 5. They're giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, none being earned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts on the season to go from, I believe it was 36 before to make it 42 now. He faced 22 batters on the evening, and replacing him will be Tyler Greenleaf. Right-handed pitcher, 6'2", 210-pound sophomore out of Canisius College, hometown of Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. And returning it to the plate for the Rebels as the first pitch coming from Greenleaf will miss for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to start things off here for Benjamin Stevens, the catcher this evening for the Rebels. 1-0 comes in, misses, ball 2 is the count. Greenleaf coming in with an 11.57 ERA. That is, or rather, 11 2/3 innings under his belt as well. 12 strikeouts. That's popped into center. Jared Lennon chasing over to his right, and he will make the catch.
That's his left.
Or my left, my apologies.
All right, his left.
Yep, I meant that.
Yep.
1 out is on the board following the J.R. Lennon shimmy to his left,
Shimmy.
which is totally what I meant.
Shimmy?
Oh, me.
If you saw him shimming, we're watching the wrong game. Or we're watching
I like to spice up the vocabulary there. Me. 0-1 in the meantime coming to Stevens in the meantime as he cuts and misses from Greenleaf. That was pitch number 4 of the night. Pitch number 5 coming in an 0-1. That one will go down the strike zone. Strike 2 is the call. 0-2 now for Michael Cohen, who is 2 for 14 on the evening for the Rebels. Sits at a 143 batting average, so his batting average has taken a little bit of a tank from the 166 he started with, as that's popped out into right. Will drop for a base hit. JoJo Jackson makes the scoop and will fire to first. The play will not be in time.
He missed the tag.
Mm-hmm. He definitely did.
Yeah.
It looked close, but...
It was close, but he was way too far.
I could tell.
And now coming up, the pitcher who rakes, Jet Jackson, has a home run in his last at-bat, listed as a pitcher for the Rebels, but can swing the stick a little bit as he's looking for home run number 2, as those were the 2 runs off of his home run are the only runs that have been scored so far for the New Market Rebels, as we are in the top of the 6th here at Bing Crosby Stadium.
6-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals. 1-0 coming and missing for ball 2 to Jet Jackson, who is 1 for 2 on the evening. Make it 2 for 6 on this season. That's a 333 batting average. So his batting average has also gone down from the 250 that he started with. 1 out is on the board in this top half of the 6th. Tyler Greenleaf replacing Fisher in the middle of the frame. That goes through for a base hit. It did make contact with Jeffcoat, but it did bounce off of his glove. So it is, in fact, an on-base look for Jet Jackson. In plate appearance number 3, he's now gone 2 for 3 on the evening as Blaine Deaton will come up to the plate.
Number 31, Blaine Deaton.
You could just kind of tell by the way Deaton, I guess, kind of walks around, like the way he presents himself. He is a pitcher that's having to hit. He's not a guy that looks like maybe he hits, but he looks like a pitcher that is kind of forced to hit right now. As Jet Jackson rocking the higher socks and Blaine Deaton kind of rocking the middle socks, so it's definitely a look a pitcher would rock, not so much a position player, as he takes a fastball down the middle for a strike, and the next pitch blocked by Popple. So 1-1 is the count as Tyler Greenleaf in his first inning of work here for the Cardinals, replacing Bryce Fisher.
There is one out down in this top half of the sixth. Again, a 6-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals. Greenleaf looks back at second and deals upstairs ball 2. Count now goes up for Deaton 2-1. Deaton, in the meantime, 0 for 1 on the evening with a strikeout previously. So he's looking for his first bit of action here in this evening's ball game at the plate. Greenleaf looks back at second, deals the 2-1. That is cracked, bouncing ball fouled on the first base side towards the Rebel dugout. 2-2 count now for Deaton, who is playing at first this evening. Like we've been saying, usually the last 3 in the order for the Rebels would be on the mound or in the bullpen or on the bench, depending on how Coach Stenberg would use them. In the meantime, Greenleaf looks back at second. Nobody home to make the play. Here comes the 2-2. That is cut on and missed for strike 3. Make it strikeout number 1 on the evening for Greenleaf. Make it number 13 for him on the season as Haviter will come up to the plate for the Rebels. Haviter 0 for 1. With a walk and a strikeout previously, sitting at a 170 batting average.
It's so funny to just watch them come to the play. He comes jogging over to the play. I mean, some of these pitchers, I'm sure, are excited to get at-bats because they don't normally get at-bats either at college or even playing for the Rebels this season. But because of their need to fill out the lineup, they are hitting, as this one's popped foul to the right side, so count will go to 0-2.
That's 2 straight foul balls presented to you by the Logan Manico Foundation. For more information, visit them on Facebook at Logan Manico Foundation or online at livelikelogan14.com. But going back to what you were saying, I've mentioned this before, and I just love the story. The pitcher from LSU, I can't remember his name, but he was a comedian, and it was funny. It was hilarious as the 0-2 goes to a 1-2. But just the fact that I believe they were in the SEC tournament. Could be wrong.
It was a big game. It was either late in the season or the tournament.
Because I know they had the backdrop with like the SEC whatnot for the press conference rather.
Yeah.
And he said while he was on the field, he told the reporter, he said, did coach ask you if you hit in high school? He said, yeah, and I told him I hit nukes. And in the meantime, the play at first is not in time, so runners now threaten on every bag for the Rebels. So with a possibility of a home run coming from the new batter, the original leadoff batter, Tiger Borum, this could be a tie ball game if he can get it to go his way. But going back to what I was saying, I really wish I remember his name because he was funny.
I think Pearson was the last name, but I could be wrong on that.
I thought his name. I think his first name was Peter. Now that you said that, it was Peter something or something Peter. I can't remember, but that one is fouled away. In the meantime, 0-1 is the count. But that kind of relates to what the Rebels have to do, and having not 1 but 3 pitchers come up to hit, and not late in the game, but for the whole game.
Yeah.
And hopefully I think LSU won that game. I could be wrong.
He had the game-winning hit.
I think his name is Todd Stevens. I think is what his name is.
Todd sounds right. It's Todd something.
Maybe Peter was like the coach or something. I can't remember. But it's definitely Todd something. Yeah. I remember that. I want to say Todd Stevens is his name. In the meantime, we got a 1-1. But I remember in the press conference, he was asked, when's the last time you hit in a game? He said, high school, I guess. And then turns to his left and says, Coach, I'm going to be honest with you. I never hit in high school. And
I hit batting practice a few times, but never hit.
Yeah, he said, and Coach was so shocked because he was like, "You lied to me, Todd." He said, "Coach, I wanted to hit in the game." He said, "I did hit batting practice. I did hit nukes, if you want to know." But and the coach was just dying laughing the whole time.
I mean, if that didn't go his way,
Todd Peterson is his name.
Peterson.
I knew it was Peter something and Todd something. I just couldn't make the connection.
That's why I thought it was Pierce's son.
Yep.
Because of the P and the son. But I thought it was Pearson, but I guess it is Peterson. But yeah, I think the coach would have been very upset had it not gone their way. as the throw to third is not in time, and it is now a 2-2 count, I believe. The scoreboard says 3-1, but I think the umpire just put up 2-2. So I think it's a 2-2 count here on Tiger Borum as Tyler Greenleaf is on the mound. First inning of work, 2 outs, and the bases are loaded here following the infield hit by Braden Hoveter. This one's fouled in the box, so 2-2 remains to count.
I will say it has come to my attention that Todd Peterson actually got drafted that season, or following that season, 2019, by the Nationals in the 7th round. He was the 213th pick overall, but he currently plays in the minors for the Wilmington Blue Rocks, which, if you can't make that connection, it is an affiliate of the Nationals, a high A affiliate of the Nationals. So he certainly did do good from what I understand, and now they've got the runner in a bit of a pickle. It is, in fact,
was that now out number 3?
Runner is Braden Hoveter, and they will make it out number 3, it appears, but question is,
I thought that was out number 3 anyways.
The question is, will they count that run if the out wasn't made before the run across the plate?
I thought that was out number 3 anyways, so unless they called it a ball, unless they said he didn't swing, but I thought he pretty clearly swung to me.
No idea.
I have no clue. It says he struck out, so that should be out number 3, and the run shouldn't have scored any. There should have been no play. There should have been no run.
Right, there shouldn't have been. So score should stay where it is.
Score is 6-2 here in the bottom, going into the bottom of the 6th as the Cardinals look to keep their playoff hopes alive. So thanks for those of you guys listening and watching on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network, on the Front Row Examiner and Stretch Internet Radio Network. Home of the Front Row Cardinals all season long. We do have a pitching change, but we'll get back to you guys after the break.
What makes a place great? Is it an incredible landscape, unique in the world, carved over the eons into rolling mountains and gentle valleys? Is it the rivers that sing and shout and flow into breathtaking chasms? Is it the trails that lead over hills and to the edges of beautiful views? Is it the natural places and things, big and small, and the outdoor places that people have enjoyed for generations? Or is it the people themselves, the people who've turned this land into an inviting refuge for art and culture and festivals and celebrations of all the things that make life great? The people who make food grown fresh and served with creativity and care, who make wine and beer and donuts from scratch. People who have shown travelers from all over the world all of the things there are to do and see and experience. What if greatness wasn't one of these things, or even a few of these things, but all of them together?
This message is brought to you by Warren County Government.
So as we said going into the break, the Rebels have made a pitching change. Coming out of the game is Adam Frump after 2 complete innings. Gave up a hit and a run. That run being earned, 3 walks and 8 batters faced. Coming in for him will be Evan Byers, a left-handed pitcher, 5'10", 180-pound junior out of the University of Kentucky, hometown of Nicholasville, Kentucky. He will face Trent Jeffcoat to lead things off here in this bottom half of the 6th. In the meantime, he pulls a strikeout, 0-1 to start things off here for Jeffcoat in this leadoff appearance for the 6th. And make it now his 4th appearance of the game at the plate. 1-1 is the count coming to him. He is 34 for 94 3. That is a 366. So with the hit on the night, his batting average has taken a slight dip upwards from the 362 he started with. 1-1 comes in and will miss for ball 2. Count is now 2-1 to the senior out of West Florida, Trent Jeffcoat. Jeffcoat's average is 500. His on-base percentage is 666, and his sluggers percentage is 500 as he fouls that one back for strike 2. Count is now even at a down count, 2-2 for the shortstop. Myers coming into the game with a 3.98 ERA, 20 1/3 under his belt, and 23 strikeouts on the season. Coming up with pitch number 6. Or my apologies, pitch number 5, as that one goes in and bloops back behind the second baseman, Hobbiter. Jeffcoat looks to round, but will turn back around as Trent bombs that one as a bloop. Make it hit number 2 on the night out of 3 recorded at bats for the shortstop, Trent Jeffcoat. And that will put the Cardinals in double digits in the hit column, as that calls up the first baseman, Drew Camp. 10 hits to the Rebels, 5 here now in this bottom half of the 6th. 6-2 ball game with Trent Jeffcoat on first now, as Drew Camp comes up and he hits that one shallow right, or rather in the middle of right. The catch is made by the right fielder, Kyle Joy, for out number 1. Coming up to that at-bat, Camp was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. So we remain 6-2 with 1 out down in this bottom half of the 6th, as Joe Jackson will come back up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the evening with a walk. So plate appearance number 4. Looking to be a good one for him if he can get it to go. Again, he is ice cold right now. So looking for the first bit of action. First pitch in the meantime misses for ball 1, it appears. 1-0 is the count. 1 out down. Jeffcoat stands on first. Or rather, should I say, JoJo is stone cold tonight since he's from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Funny. 1-0 is the count. Oh, if you could see the look that Matthew's giving me right now. Oh, me.
I mean, the dad jokes are just flying in. Flying in. Every night. They're just, hey, you look for a dad joke, it's on the air somewhere. Just go back.
Oh, here comes the 1-1 to JoJo Jackson. He misses, and Jeffcoat will steal. It looks like he will get there in time. He will. That looked to be a close play, though, at the end.
Yeah, it looked like he almost came off the bag at the end there.
Because it did look like the second baseman, Hobbiter, did cough the ball up, but it looked like he recovered it, as it appeared that Jeffcoat was about to slip off the bag. However, he stays on, and we have 1 out down with a runner threatening on the second, possibly in scoring position.
Yeah, and I remember one time you were talking on the broadcast, and JoJo got a hit, and you go, and JoJo got that one to go. And I was in shock that he even uttered those words, but they were uttered nonetheless. So
I got to come up with my own catchphrases. Like we had I think I've mentioned this to you, but last year I had a player named Wade Kuda, and I don't know if I've shown you the quote, but I said Wade Kuda is the dude because he hit the home run. And come to find out, he follows my Twitter, or at least likes something on my Twitter, and his handle name is the Barracuda. I'm like, that's so clever. How did I not come up with that? Anyway,
see, but you could have played off of that if you knew that earlier.
Yeah. I wish I got that earlier.
Played off of the Barracuda thing, but JoJo hits this one in the air to center. Looks to be playable for the center fielder, Popa, as Trent Coat gets off of second base, but nowhere to go. So 2 outs here for Christian Campbell coming to the plate with 2 outs now and a runner on second as the Cardinals look to extend their 6-2 lead with Trent Jeffcoat on second.
Funny you actually said it Trent Coat, because I've heard at least Harold Chun call Trent Jeffcoat by the nickname of Trench Coat.
Trench Coat.
Which, I mean, is clever. And I can see why he did that, because Well, I mean, some people could say Trent Coat by accident. I mean, you did, and some people could
Did I? I didn't even.
Yeah, you did. But
Jeff Coat. That's
Jeff Coat.
But Jeff Coates.
But the nickname Trench Coat's clever as well, because it's kind of ironic that it's a mispronunciation of his name as well.
But what does that even mean? I mean, some nicknames like they have some sort of meaning behind it. Like, I don't know.
Maybe he likes it. I don't know. Here comes the 0-1 in the meantime. Smooth transition there to Christian Campbell. Misses down for ball one. Count is 1-1. If you're wondering, we're just having fun up here, by the way.
You could say that. You could say that.
I always wonder, like when we get into conversations like this, I always wonder as Christian Campbell cuts and misses for strike 2, 1-2 count. I always wonder, like Donna Muller's down there, Donna Settles down there, Alex, who runs the beer stand, is down. Right, I'm getting ready to say, like, what are they thinking when we say some of this stuff? They're like, oh my God, why did we hire these interns?
Why are they here? And we had a lot more people we could have chosen. As Campbell goes down looking there, and we end the 6th inning, still a 6-2 ball game here in favor of the Front Royal Cardinals. As the Dizzy Bat competition is coming out here, so we will show you guys that. But anyways, we will come back after the break. It will be the top of the 7th inning. Cardinals up 6-2 over the Newmarket Rebels as they look to push for the playoffs. So thanks for those of you guys listening on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, on the Front Royal Examiner and Stretch Internet Radio Network.
Welcome to Hazard Mill Farms, located in the beautiful Appalachian foothills of Virginia. The farm offers lodging, a retreat center, and catering. We also offer a wide range of outdoor activities and recreation. Located on the banks of the Shenandoah River, we invite you to enjoy many river activities, swimming, tubing, and canoeing. We provide many options for your wedding and other events. If you want a peaceful place to relax, spend time with family, simply enjoy the beauty of the surrounding area, or host a killer event, Hazard Mill Farms is the perfect place for you. All of our rental spaces are available for your special event. Visit hazardmillfarm.com to reserve today. Your local Lindsay Chevrolet dealer of Front Royal is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Your next new or pre-owned vehicle awaits you in Lindsay Chevrolet. There are many options of Chevy vehicles to help anyone find new roads. Choose Lindsay Chevrolet. You'll love it at Lindsay.
And we welcome you to David L. Wines Field at Bing Crosby Stadium as we've played through 6 complete innings of work. That is a 6-2 ball game in the favor of the Front Royal Cardinals over the visiting Newmarket Rebels, as the Rebels in the meantime appear to call up Dom Popa to lead things off, and it appears they do, as the first pitch to him is missed for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to start things off here for Popa in plate appearance number 4. He sits 1 for 3 on the evening. Make it 31 for 111. That is a .279 batting average. So his batting average really hasn't been affected by this game so far. It's gone up just a little bit. He has struck out before, as that one gets past Greenleaf, gets to Chisholm. The play at first is in time. What a recovery by the Cardinals on defense there, as Greenleaf couldn't make the scoop, so it instead went backwards to Chisholm, who makes the throw over to Drew Camp at first to just about get Popa out in time at first. So 1 out is on the board in this top half of the 7th. Cardinals lead 6-2 as Kyle Joy comes up. First pitch to him in the meantime, I believe, missed. He did make a cut.
Nope. So it's 0-1.
Okay, so he did make the cut completely then. Yep, so 0-1 is the count, because I did see the cut out of the corner of my eyes. I was looking at who was coming up. As the 0-1 comes in, misses ball 1. Count is even 1-1. Greenleaf sets on the mound, got a 1-1 coming from him. He deals in. That one rocked him in the helmet. My goodness, out of all the places you want to get hit, that's not one of them. That is nowhere near one of them.
Yeah, he looks to be fine, because it looked like just a bad curveball that got away from him. So thankfully it wasn't a fastball, but either way, you don't want to get hit in the head.
Absolutely not. And I know there's some, I know major league teams, I know the Yankees, for example, have the little guards that go around the chin, so in case you don't get drilled in the in the chin by a wild pitch or something like that. And I don't know. I don't think his helmet has that. Kind of looks like something at least, but not necessarily something that protects it all the way. Way at least. Knew that was coming. In the meantime, Wyatt Morgan coming up 0 for 3 on the evening. Faces strike one on the first one. 0-1 is the count with one out down in this top half of the seventh.
Yeah, and that face guard is more recent or it's used more recently because of what happened to Giancarlo Stanton, who's now on the Yankees, but at the time was on the Marlins as he got hit in the face by a fastball, and he was out for, I think, the remainder of the year with something fractured in his face or something like that. And it looked pretty bad when you saw it live, and it looked even worse when you saw the aftermath pictures and what it did to him. But he's okay now, but it's become more of a trend to use that face guard as Morgan flies out to left field. So 2 outs here for Tyler Greenleaf in his second inning of work as Benjamin Stevens, the catcher on the night, comes up for the Rebels.
So Morgan makes a connection with Sam Daggers as Benjamin Stevens, the catcher, will return to the plate for now the 4th time in this game. Got a strikeout underneath his belt. Nothing going for him after that. That is popped to third. The play at first is in time for out number 3. What a connection between Campbell and Camp as we retire the sign off of a Benjamin Stevens bouncing ball to third. Following Stevens will be Coyne, followed by Jet Jackson and Blaine Deaton are the 3 due up for the Rebels in the top half of the 8th. In the meantime, we go to the bottom half of the 7th. Cardinals lead 6-2.
This is a brief in-game reminder that the Valley Baseball League will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, national origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, citizenship, and/or military or veteran status. The Valley Baseball League supports all of our teams in addressing these issues at their individual ballpark. Thank you for being a good sport and enjoy your game.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
Green 2 Ground Electrical is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Green to Ground is a Class A electrical contractor serving the Shenandoah Valley and Northern Virginia region. Building relationships since 2019 by being reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. Offering both residential and commercial services, no job is too big for our team to handle. We are a licensed and insured company, serving customers peace of mind, one circuit at a time.
The Wines Family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take our care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
You're listening to Cardinals Baseball on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals radio network.
It was a code 10, hard water again. Worst part is Claire was unaware.
Hey, Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
Okay, are you 90?
I'm not.
Okay, secondly, how do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water? What? And thirdly, how do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
Goodly. I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water. Stay soft, right?
You stay soft.
Good water doesn't just come to you. Oh, wait. In this case, yes, it does.
So we return to you from the bottom half of the 7th. Cardinals lead 6-2 as the Cardinals retake the offensive set. They will call up Carlton Harper, who cuts and misses strongly on the first one. And the second one comes through as a strike. So 0-2 is the call, or is the count rather, for the leadoff batter for this frame, Carlton Harper. As the 0-2 comes in, he will cut and miss on that one for strike 3. So Harper going down from 0 for 3 to 0 for 4 on the evening, making it a 13 for 63 count for him. As that will call up Sam Daggers to the plate. Daggers coming up to this plate appearance rather, being 1 for 3 on the evening with a strikeout. It's 246 coming into this plate appearance. Got a run on the night out of his hit. So he sits 1-0 on this count with 1 out down in the bottom half of the 7th. Oh, they're making fun of me. 1-0 count. 1-0 count goes to 2. I gotcha. They're making fun of me behind the scenes back here. 2. Oh, it's a good thing the camera wasn't pointed back at Matthew because he was making fun of me.
That's fine.
Gotta pick fun at everybody every now and again. And if you can't take it, then that's not fun.
I mean, it's not. I'm not trying to be mean. It's
no, I know where you're coming from.
It's just playful, but
yeah. 2-1 is the count, going 2-2 on that one to Daggers. Like I said, I usually take jokes unless it's like
yeah. You got to create energy at some point.
Yeah.
Especially getting in the later innings, you know.
And to be completely honest, I'm 100% accurate what you just said. Daggers faces a payoff on the next one. Like I said, we're having fun up here. Don't judge us. Payoff coming with 1 out down. Here comes as he fouls that one back, straight back on the third base side. So payoff number 2 coming up to Daggers from Evan Byers. Pitch number 25, I believe, just came. Nope, coming next. Thanks, Point Street. Pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming. That I do know, as that one skied out into center. Looks to be playable by the center fielder, Papa. He will make the catch, and he ran a good distance to get that ball.
He was quick, too. That was... He covered that distance quickly. So
when he first started running, I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch it, but he did. He caught it with a little bit of time. Yeah,
he made that look easy. That was a very nice running play.
That was a great play.
That was graceful.
Mm-hmm. That was definitely a great play by Popa. Besides the home run, that's probably a really great defensive play. It could be top 5 of the game, but besides the home run, that could be definitely one of the plays of the game there.
Oh, for the Rebels at least.
Yeah, for them at least is what I was trying to go at. In the meantime, that will bring up Brendan Chisholm to the plate, who is 1 for 1 on the evening.
I believe he's 1 for 1 with a walk.
Mm-hmm. You're correct.
Yep.
And he also crossed the plate in this game as well.
At least, I think after his hit, he ended up scoring on a Brody Popple hit, I would like to say.
I think you're right.
And then Trent drove in the run on the broken bat single, and J.R. London.
Yeah, J.R. London. Yeah. I was getting ready to say, I thought it was the other way around, but no,
and then
you're right.
Camp hit a single, and Brody scored, and that was the 3-run inning in the bottom of the 4th for the Front Row Cardinals, which happened right after the Newmarket Rebels tied up the ball game 2-2 in that top half of the inning. So far, the Cardinals took the lead in the bottom of the 3rd, 2-0. The Rebels tied it up, as I just mentioned, in the top of the 4th to make it 2-2, and then the Cardinals have scored 4 unanswered to make it a 6-2 ball game since the top of the 4th. So Cardinals taking control of this one 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th here with a 3-2 count to Brennan Chisholm, as there's nobody on base following 2 quick outs by Daggers and Harper.
Here comes the payoff, 2 outs down, fouled away on the third base side. And Brennan Chisholm is looking to keep his hit streak alive, at least in the statistics-wise. He may not have gotten consecutive at-bats with, well, I mean, he's 1 for 1, so it's not consecutive yet, but he may have gotten, for example, in his first at-bat, he may have got the hit, but in the second at-bat, he may have walked. Again, don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's exactly how it went, but statistics-wise, looking to keep that hit streak alive, and not just yet. He's walked in the second time. Take it 90-foot walk of fame for the second time for Brendan Chisholm. Following him is J.R. Lerman, who is 1 for 3 on the evening with a strikeout and has, like we just mentioned before, has crossed the plate off of an RBI. I believe you said Brendan Chisholm. Not Brendan. Brody Popple.
No, not Brody.
Or Trent. Yep.
Brody was behind him right before that.
Yep. So 2 outs on the board. Here comes the pitch. First one is missed for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to start things off here for J.R. Lunnan in plate appearance number 4 on the evening. Out of 3 at-bats, he's hit once. His batting average sits .217, going 10 for 46. So with the 1 hit, his batting average has taken a little tick upwards from the .209 he came into this evening's game with. In the meantime, faces 2-0. Again, 2 outs down, 6-2 ball game, bottom half of the 7th. Cardinals lead over the Rebels and have done so since the bottom half of the 4th. 2-0 coming in and misses ball 3. Throw back to first is not in time. So 3-0 is the count. 2 outs remain on the board. J.R. Lunnan looking to get back on base. This one would be his first walk of the game.
Just a quick scoring update as
the
3-0 is delivered, and that one's inside ball 4. So 2 straight walks set up the Cardinals first and second with Brody Popple, who's 3 for 3 coming to the plate, looking to make it 4 for 4. But Waynesboro is down 15-9 to the Charlottesville Tom Sox. Tom Sox had 2 straight innings of scoring 6 runs, which allowed them to take a 15-9 lead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we have a pitching visit in the meantime. I don't think anyone has been signaled just yet. But I guess while we have this break, we can take a look. So as we stated before, Percival beat Harrisonburg earlier today 4-3. Nice song, Paul. In game number 2, the final was 2-1. Percival taking down Harrisonburg in both games, which I think shocked the South, because Harrisonburg is one of the best teams in the South. If they're not first, they're second. I do know that.
They could be saving pitching.
That's possible, too.
They could be saving pitching or running out of pitching, or they're just trying to take it easy going into the final game or final few games, as the postseason is right around the corner, especially for them knowing they're going to make it.
Also, in the meantime, North Division action at Central High School. Scores remains as it is from earlier, 4-2. Woodstock leading Strasburg. Again, at Central High School's field. Waynesboro taking down Charlottesville in game number 1, 7-4 of the doubleheader. Game number 2, bottom of the 6th, like you said, 15-9. In the meantime, Cardinals lead 6-2 over the visiting Newmarket Rebels here. 0-1 count rather to Brody Popple with 2 outs down, who is, like you said before the pitching visit, 3 for 3, looking to go 4 for 4. But got walked previously, and I think he just got walked once.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he got walked twice, but I think that was somebody else, obviously.
Jeffcoat's been hit once and walked, I believe.
No, Jeffcoat just got the hit.
No.
It's been
Chisholm's been walked twice.
Yeah, it's been Popple, JoJo, Campbell, and then Chisholm been walked twice now. So it probably could have been Brennan, I thought, was Brody. Because I made that switch before. As Popple fouls that one away on the right side, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs down. Runners on first and second, respectively, J.R. Lunnan and Brennan Chisholm. As Byer sets on the mound, looks back at second. Nobody home to make the play just yet. Feels the 1-2. They will check his swing, call it strike 3. Papa will make the advance to first. So bags are loaded off of a strike 3 missed opportunity by Benjamin Stevens. So it's all up to Trent Jeffcoat to bring at least one of these gentlemen in.
Yeah, and tough one right there. Like, Stevens been very good behind the plate, blocking those balls tonight. That one just got through the wickets. So to go on, that would have been out number 3, and Brody does end his perfect night with a strikeout right there, but he does reach base. So nonetheless, it is productive as bags loaded and 2 outs as Jeffcoat swings through 0-1 here as he's looking to push this Cardinal lead to potentially 8-2 with J.R. London's speed on second. A base hit will most likely score him as Byers is ready for the 0-2 or for the 0-1 rather,
with 2 outs down.
With 2 outs, he deals and that one's low. 1-1. Nice block there by Stevens.
And going back to what you're saying, Stevens has had a monster of a game behind the plate. I don't think his hitting has accounted for much.
I think he's 0 for 4 or 0 for 5.
0 for something. I'm trying to look right now.
Like
there he is.
0
for 4. Yep. And he struck out one. So his hitting hasn't proven anything tonight, but his defensive set behind the plate certainly has, because he has stopped a lot of runs from scoring, as that will be fielded at second. The play at first will be in time. So runners are stranded on every bag. Cardinals do retain the lead 6-2 going into 8. As we take a sideline here on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, we return to you right after this.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
I'm J.D. Howler, President and CEO of U.S. Inspect Group, the country's largest home inspection company. We operate nationally across 24 MSAs, and our 30-year-old brand has delivered 3 million inspections. The best real estate brokerages in the country love us because we help their real estate agents get deals closed faster, and we protect their customers. We have a proven business model and positive EBITDA. With new investors, new management, new board, and new products, our mission is to make home inspections as simple and painless as ordering an Uber.
This message is brought to you by US Inspect. For more information, find them online at usinspect.com.
And welcome you back to Bing Crosby Stadium to start the top half of the 8th. Cardinals lead 6-2 over the visiting Newmarket Rebels and have had a commanding or more commanding of a lead since the bottom half of the 4th ended. Cardinals took a 2-0 lead into the top of the 4th, and Newmarket responded with a 2-run shot taken by Jet Jackson, who is DHing this evening for the Rebels. And after that, they have not scored a run. The Cardinals have given, or rather, Rebels have given up 4 runs and have not responded to any of them, as the Rebels will take a look at their leadoff batter, Michael Coyne. So following Coyne, due up will be Jet Jackson and Blaine Deaton. So the 3 due up are those 3 gentlemen as we get set and ready to resume play here, this time top of the 8th. Tyler Greenleaf remains on the mound for the Cardinals. He sets up and deals the opening pitch of the frame. That one misses, ball 1. Count is 1-0 to start things off here for Coyne. And plate appearance number 4 on the evening. He's gone 1 for 3 so far this evening with a run scored, as he was one of the only Rebel on base, let me reword that, when Jet Jackson bombed that one out in center. In the meantime, faces a 2-1. Again, no outs down, as he is the leadoff batter for the frame. 6-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals here in this top half of the 8th. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one misses, ball 3 is the call.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising that the Cardinals pitching, which so far has only been Greenleaf and Fisher, they've struggled with the bottom part of the order, which is the part of the order when you look at the lineup, it's like those are 3 pitchers. Why are you struggling with them? But each of these pitchers have gotten on at least once. Mm-hmm. Jet Jackson, I believe, he had the home run, but I believe he's gotten on 1, maybe 2 other times on top of that.
Yep.
Plus, Havater. I thought that was an F for some reason. Havater, not Havafer. Havater has gotten on via an infield single once, and Deet has gone on at least twice due to, I believe, a walk and a hit by pitch, or just a hit by pitch, but he's gone on once, maybe twice so far. So we'll see what happens here as that one's outside. 1-1 here from Greenleaf to Jackson.
6-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals. The Cardinals also lead in the hit column at 10-5. They also lead in the error column 2-1, which both of those errors were made early on, and that one will be thrown out to right. JoJo Jackson makes the catch and throw. He falls on the throw. The play at first is not quite in time. It was close, but unfortunately in baseball and basically everything else, close don't count. So 1 out on the board in this top half of the 8th. As Blaine Deaton, the third due up out of the 3 that were originally due up, will come up. Deaton coming up 0 for 2 on the evening, struck out both times he's been up. So he's looking for his first bit of action tonight, as well as to record that on the season. As, of course, being a pitcher, he hasn't hit prior to this game pretty much. As he fouls that one back behind him, strike 1 is the call. So 0-1 for Blaine Deaton.
So far 0 for 2 with at least 1 hit by pitch and 2 strikeouts so far. As that one's down and away 1-1, but it feels like they're pitching around him or just pitching carefully to these pitchers, and it's like just go after them. And they're not. I mean, Jet Jackson hurt you with a bomb, but I mean, how likely is that again to happen? As that one's hit to a line drive to second base, Chisholm makes the play. The throw on to first is in time, so the Cardinals are 3 outs away from securing that last playoff spot by a game over the Winchester Royals. We do have to get through 2 more frames, but hopefully the Cardinals can close out this one and take a game on the Royals. So going into the bottom of the 8th inning, it's a 6-2 ball game in favor of the Front Royal Cardinals, looking for win number 15 on the season. So we will get back to you after the break. Thanks for listening on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network, on the Front Royal Examiner and Stretch Internet Radio Network.
You're listening to Cardinals Baseball on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner, affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
Welcome to Hazard Mill Farms, located in the beautiful Appalachian foothills of Virginia. The farm offers lodging, a retreat center, and catering. We also offer a wide range of outdoor activities and recreation. Located on the banks of the Shenandoah River, we invite you to enjoy many river activities, swimming, tubing, and canoeing. We provide many options for your wedding and other events. If you want a peaceful place to relax, spend time with family, simply enjoy the beauty of the surrounding area, or host a killer event, Hazard Mill Farms is the perfect place for you. All of our rental spaces are available for your special event. Visit hazardmillfarm.com to reserve today. TLC Settlements is a proud sponsor of the 2022 Cardinals. When buying, selling, or refinancing your investment, TLC Settlements, LLC believes that every transaction is important, no matter how big or how small. The trustworthy team of Tracy, Lucy, and Christy bring 55-plus years experience in the industry. We are dedicated to and take pride in the service that we give to each and every customer. Although we do many closings each month, every closing is very important to us. Our service speaks for itself at TLC Settlements.
So the Rebels are starting the bottom of the 8th with a pitching change. Evan Byers coming out after 2 complete frames. 1 hit, no runs, obviously no runs being earned. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and faced 10 batters. In his place isn't the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it is in fact Will Smith. Got another one. I was looking for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and unfortunately, I didn't have it. So I saved you from 2 dad jokes. I gave you 1, but
That was still a dad joke.
Will Smith coming up as a right-handed pitcher. Again, not born and raised in Philadelphia. On the playground is where he spent most of his days. 6 foot, 200-pound senior out of Coastal Carolina University, hometown Conway, South Carolina. When I saw that his name matched with his number, I said, "Oh, I've got to make that joke."
God.
All jokes aside, I hope some of you enjoyed that, or at least had a reaction like Matthew did, just like
Just a pity chuckle, at least. I mean, something.
So through all of that, we missed a batter. Drew Camp goes down off of a strikeout. Following him is JoJo Jackson, over 3 on the evening. So looking for his first bit of action here.
Accidentally just played Christian's song right after JoJo's.
Right as he steps into the batter's box, as he bounces that one foul on the first base side. 0-1 count to the right fielder Jackson, who's had a bit of a cold spurt today, unfortunately for him, because he usually can get the bat hot either early or at least can get it somewhat decently warm in the middle of the game. But today he's just not been himself for some reason, which is very unfortunate.
And not only that, like sometimes he'll go 0 for 3, but he'll hit 2 balls hard, just get unlucky with it. I mean, he hasn't really hit much hard tonight, so hopefully we do see him hit the ball here or have a good at-bat, but at the very least have a good at-bat for the last game of the season with playoffs on the line. As Smith deals, and that one's low and inside, so nice take right there by JoJo. It's 2-1.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at my Will Smith joke. I know it's not funny, but it's hilarious. 2-1 is the count. 1 out down for JoJo Jackson, who is looking for his first bit of action. He pops that one into left. That ball has a bit of high and deep and far. It's off the wall, though, but JoJo Jackson getting that first hit of the game. It is a double that is close to comfort, but not quite.
Yeah, that ball had some carry to it right there, so that was a very, very nice hit there by JoJo Jackson. It looked to be a routine fly ball, but just kept going. He has very, very good power, as he's listed at 6'3", 225, but in person he looks more like 6'3", 240 with all muscle. So he's a very, very strong dude, and he just basically flicked that one out to left field right off the top of the wall there, as Campbell takes that one outside 1-0 with JoJo standing at second base. And for any of you guys that could see it or can see those posts out in the outfield, there is a netting for college ball, so they have to hit it over the netting in order for it to be a home run. And JoJo hit it off the top of the netting for the double right there.
Campbell, in the meantime, facing 2-0 on the next one, coming up 1 for 3 on this evening's game with a walk and a strikeout fitting his name. 226 on the season, going 14 for 63 as the 2-0 comes in, appears to miss for ball 3. 1 out down, bottom of the 8th. 6-2 ball game in the favor of the Cardinals with an insurance run standing on second in the form of JoJo Jackson. Campbell with a .333 batting average, 500 on-base percentage, and a .333 sluggers, as he will take the 90-foot walk of fame for the second time tonight. That's 2 Cardinals now that have been walked twice this evening. Brennan Chisholm and now Christian Campbell, bringing up Carlton Harper. And going back to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm just kidding. For what? For what? Carlton?
No. Oh, God. Okay. Moving on. It's first and second here with 1 out as Carlton Harper looks low.
Question is, does Carlton Harper have a flat top like Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Like I said, Don was probably wondering, why did I bring him back? Harper, in the meantime, I'll shut up. Carlton Harper, in the meantime, coming up 0 for 4 on the evening as he fouls that one back. Looks to be playable, and it just about isn't. So 1-1 count now.
Oh, I thought you said it looks to be out of play. No, not looks to be playable. I was like, nah, I definitely got fouled.
Again, Harper 0 for 4, make it 13 for 63 on the season. There's a 206 batting average, so his average has gone down from the 220 he started with. 2 RBIs out of the 13 hits, since he doesn't have one yet tonight. 1-1 count, missing ball 2. 2-1 count, 1 out down. JoJo Jackson on second, Christian Campbell on first following the walk. So Smith sets and deals the 2-1. That's bouncing ball foul on the first base side. So Jackson and Christian Campbell will have to make their advancements backwards. I will say Will Smith has the best ERA for the Rebels in this 14-man roster that they have today. I think he had one of the best no matter what, because it's 100 ERA, 9 innings, so not terrible with just a few innings. Did that one get him?
No, that one was inside. But I think Stephens wanted the call there, so
I thought for a second that it pinged him somewhere, but he didn't move, so I didn't assume that he was going. But yeah, Will Smith, 100 ERA, 9 innings pitched, or 1.0 ERA, I guess I should say. 9 innings pitched, as that one is down the first base line, but fouled. So the count remains 3-2. 15 strikeouts on the season for Will Smith coming into this evening's game. He's recorded 1 to make it 16. So with a payoff coming yet again, here comes the pitch. That one is fouled this time on the third base side. Count remains where it is for a third attempt at the payoff. So Carlton Harper really getting his money's worth on this at-bat, fouling off the last 3 to keep the payoff alive. On the 3-2 count, 1 out down. JoJo Jackson on second, Christian Campbell at first. Smith looks back at second and deals it. That one will be fouled off yet again. That is the 4th straight to go back in foul territory for Carlton Harper and more or less go out of play. He did have one that looked playable that didn't go. Recently, it was probably the first one out of that set.
Yeah, nice at-bat here on that was pitch number 8, so pitch number 9 coming from Smith as Harper fouls that one off. That one's going to get out of play, so we will do the 3-2 again. That was pitch number 9, so pitch number 10 coming up here. And Will Smith just wants to get these out. Sometimes these are the most annoying at-bats as pitchers because you're just like, all right, put it in, but just put it in play. I don't care if you get out. Just put the ball in play somehow, some way, so I don't have to keep throwing pitches and move on to the next batter and hopefully have more success against him. But Harper doing a very, very nice job to keep fighting here as Smith looks back to second. JoJo is standing off, not going. The pitch is grounded onto second. The play to second is in time. The throw on to first was not made, so it will go down as a fielder's choice 4-6. So Harper still will probably go down hitless unless the Cardinals hit around or the Rebels are able to tie up the ball game in the top of the 9th. So Sam Daggers coming to the plate. He has 2 outs and a runner on first and third, looking for the Cardinals' 7th run of the game, standing at third base in the form of JoJo Jackson, as waiting for point and streak update to see how Sam is doing this game. That one's taking him low and away.
He's 1 for 4 so far this evening with a run scored. He has struck out as well, sitting 241 with his batting average, making it 14 for 58. So 241 indeed I did. So his batting average has basically been untouched. 240 is what he started with, again sitting 241 now, so not much of a difference. 2-0 coming in. He pops that one to right, chasing back the right fielder Joy. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Sam Oh, no, off the wall. It is, in fact, off the wall, but it will get him to third. Oh, he will round it. No, he will not.
That one looked gone for some reason.
It did look gone.
I guess it hit off the top of the wall, but it was tough to see because it looked like it got over the wall.
Hey, if that would have gone, that would have been our second home run call here at Bing Crosby Stadium for the season.
Well, second home run call for the Cardinals.
For the Cardinals, that's true.
Cardinals.
Yep, that's what I was implying. But because we've had
a few for the other team.
Strasburg, I think, was one. I think
this game was another.
Newmarket, yep. Newmarket
Woodstock was definitely one as well. I think there might have been 4, maybe 5 home runs.
Yeah.
The last game that we played here, I forget who that was against. But that was a bomb.
Yeah.
Percival. That was a bomb as wild pitch allows for
Daggers to
score. I couldn't even think of his name. Daggers scores, so that makes it a 9-2 ball game here at Bing Crosby Stadium, and the Cardinals have
7?
9.
9?
It's 9 because that was a 2-run double, and then that Allen scored. So 9-2 ball game here at Bing Crosby Stadium as the Cardinals have taken control of the ball game as Brennan Chisholm is at the plate.
Sorry, Point Streak said 7, and that's what I went off of because I wasn't paying attention, really.
Smith deals, and that one clipped Chisholm, so he'll get to first base. He will end the night 1-for-1 as he has walked in 2 appearances and been hit in the last one. So J.R. London is coming to the plate, and we will get back to you guys after the pitching visit. So we will have a short little break here while the coach comes out for the visit.
Midway Service Center and Towing is a proud sponsor of the Cardinals. Located at 514 North Commerce Avenue in Front Royal, just under a mile from Bing Crosby Stadium, Midway Service Center and Towing provides auto mechanic work. We do things from oil changes to engine repairs, towing, tire rotations, mechanic work, Virginia State inspections, and more. Come see the friendly folks at Midway Service Center and Towing weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or call 540-636-9128. Midway Service Center and Towing, voted the best auto towing company in the Northern Virginia Daily's 2022 Best of Front Royal and Warren County.
It was a code 10, hard water again. Worst part is Claire was unaware.
Hey, Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
Okay, are you 90?
I'm not.
Okay, secondly, how do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water? What? And thirdly, how do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
Goodly. I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water. Stay soft, right?
You stay soft.
Good water doesn't just come to you. Oh, wait. In this case, yes, it does.
We will be back to Bing Crosby Stadium on an abrupt welcome as we missed a Brennan Chisholm hit into center.
Nope. We saw the walk for Chisholm. Pitching visit. Yep. That was J.R. London. Point streak isn't updated right now.
Yep.
That was J.R. London getting the base hit. Now it's Mr. Brody Popple coming to the dish. He's 3 for 4, having a very, very good night. He does have a drop third strike that he did reach on. So Popple looking to expand on his very, very good night. If he's able to put one out, game is over, by the way. But he does not have he does not have great power. He does hit the ball well on a line, but he's not a huge power guy. So hopefully he can just extend the inning here as he swings through the first one from Smith. And Smith steps off, so Brody faces an 0-1 count here with 2 outs and runners on first and third in a 9-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th as the Cardinals have taken control late in the ball game over the Newmarket Rebels, who have dropped out of the playoffs due to injuries and players going back, and as well as pitchers being limited by their coaches, their college coaches, on how many innings they can throw. So Brody looks at that one outside, now 2-1.
I'm just going to say, for those of you who haven't watched Point Streak during a game, it can be your friend or your enemy when you're watching the game live. And your job is to tell you what's supposed to happen. Because then those 2 errors that were on my behalf, That's Point Streak's fault. It's set 7-2.
Blame it all on Point Streak.
Yeah, I blame technology. And then it skipped JR. Like,
yeah,
he didn't even have a card.
Weird. That was weird.
Because it went from Brennan, which, I mean, during the pitching visit, it should have changed. Because Brennan was already on base.
Yep.
But not only did it not change, but it didn't show JR, which kind of confused me. And I don't blame our statistician because I know she's probably putting it in.
It's just lagging behind.
It just hates me. No, it's just, it can just be a pain or it can be your best friend.
So 3-2 here on Brody Popple as J.R. London will be going from first. They're not even holding him on. So the 3-2 is dealt. And that one looks to be outside and it's a ball for Brody Popple. And Trent Jeffcoat coming to the plate with the bags loaded and 2 outs here for Jeffcoat. Jeffcoat, I believe, has 2 hits on the ball game.
You're right. Yep.
2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored so far. So I know he also has a hit by a pitch. So he's been on base 3 times, and we can see what he does here.
See how Point Streak updated so quick? Oh, man. So that's the second walk of the game for Popple as that one goes out to center. Looks to be playable. It is off the netting.
Nope.
Or no, it is caught. My apologies.
All right, that one's on you.
That one's on me.
That one's completely on
I blame my eye doctor. That's not my fault. I'm just kidding. That is my fault. I have done that plenty of times, though, so you can expect that out of me. We go into the possible final frame of the game. 9-2 score. This time I'm sure, because this time Point Streak says it. 9-2 score in the favor of the Cardinals here, looking to end this one here in this top half of the ninth. We'll return to you on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network right after I figure out what's going on with Point Streak and right after these messages.
Your local Lindsay Chevrolet dealer of Front Royal is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Your next new or pre-owned vehicle awaits you at Lindsay Chevrolet. There are many options of Chevy vehicles to help anyone find new roads. Choose Lindsay Chevrolet. You'll love it at Lindsay.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
Welcome to Hazard Mill Farms, located in the beautiful Appalachian foothills of Virginia. The farm offers lodging, a retreat center, and catering. We also offer a wide range of outdoor activities and recreation. Located on the banks of the Shenandoah River, we invite you to enjoy many river activities, swimming, tubing, and canoeing. We provide many options for your wedding and other events. If you want a peaceful place to relax, spend time with family, simply enjoy the beauty of the surrounding area, or host a killer event, Hazard Mill Farms is the perfect place for you. All of our rental spaces are available for your special event. Visit hazardmillfarm.com to reserve today.
This is a brief in-game reminder that the Valley Baseball League will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, national origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, citizenship, and/or military or veteran status. The Valley Baseball League supports all of our teams in addressing these issues at their individual ballpark. Thank you for being a good support and enjoy the game.
It is, in fact, the final frame of play, depending on what Newmarket can do. 9-2 ball game in the top half of the ninth. You're listening on the Front Row Cardinals Radio Network. In the meantime, Braden Hoveter leads things off for this top half of the ninth. Faces a 2-0 on the next one, rather, from the new pitcher, Sean Munoz. As he fouls that one back, 2-1 count now. Munoz coming into this evening's game with a .630 ERA, 10 innings under his belt, 11 strikeouts on the season. Got a 2-1 count as he sets up on the mound and deals it. That'll be cut back away on the Newmarket side of the field. 2-2 count now to Haviter, who is 1 for 2 on the evening. He's been walked once and struck out once. So this is plate appearance number 4 for him. As Munoz deals 2-2, that's fouled back as well. So the at-bat stays alive as Haviter fouls back 2 straight now. This one keeping the count the same. 2 balls, 2 strikes count.
I will say Haviter coming in as a pitcher, not getting many at-bats, but man, he's been fighting in most of these at-bats. Like, he has looked somewhat hitterish, dare I say. I would say Jet Jackson and him have put up good at-bats. The one that really hasn't is Blaine Deaton. He's the one guy I would say hasn't really been doing too hot in terms of putting up good at-bats, as pitches inside, and it's 3-2 as Haviter coming into this at-bat 1 for 2 with a few walks. He fouls that one off, so it remains 3-2 as Sean just cannot put him away right now.
Haviter coming up into this game with a 9 for 52 with the at-bats he's recorded this evening, make it 10 for 54. That's a 185 as he will get walked on the payoff. So his batting average has gone up a little bit from the 173 he started with, as Tiger Borum comes back up, the original leadoff batter coming up in the second spot of this frame for offense for the Rebels. 4 for 24 coming into this at-bat. That's a 167. So unlike Haviter, his batting average has gone down quite a bit from the 190 he came into the evening with. 0-1 is the count now to him as he faces strike 2 on the next pitch from Munoz. Pitch number 11 coming up on the, or my apologies, 12 coming up on the next one. Here comes the 0-2. That is cut on and missed. Strike 3 is the call. Munoz picks up number 12 on the season with number 1 on the night, as that brings up Dom Popa to the plate. 1 for 4 on the evening with a strikeout. And unbelievably somehow, going 1 for 4 on the evening, his batting average has not changed. Coming into the evening, 30 for 108. It's strike 1 now, 0-1 count. 30 for 108 evens out to a 277. And with going 1 for 4, so 250 on the night, his batting average stays at 277. I don't know how exactly all of that adds up like that, but hey, it's math. That's just how it works. In the meantime, Popa facing strike number 2 on that one. 0-2 count, 1 out down, top of the 9th, possibly final frame of play here at Bing Crosby Stadium in Sunday night action. Munoz sets on the mound. Got a runner, Braden Haviter, at first off of a walk. 0-2 coming in and missing. Ball 1 is the call. 1-2 count.
Yeah, looking for a double play ball, hopefully to end it here with Sean dealing upstairs, and that one swung on and missed as Brody threw to third like there wasn't a guy on. So that mental mistake right there by Brody, but didn't end up hurting anything, as 2 outs now as the 2-hitter,
Number 29, Kyle Joy.
or the 3-hitter rather, Kyle Joy coming to the plate here for the Rebels as the last man standing. The first pitch is over for a strike, 0-1. Cardinals are 1 out away.
Joy coming up 0 for 3 on the evening. Every out he's been recorded, or every out he has been a part of, has not been a strikeout. So that's a good sign for him. At least he's trying to make contact with the baseball there as he faces 1-1 on the next one. Batting average for him going 0 for 3 on the evening, 15 for 56, so 15 for 59 on the season, make it 254. His batting average has gone down a little bit from the 267 he started with. Munoz sets 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That one misses, ball 2. 2-1 count on the next pitch. The Rebels have Braden Haviter on first following the walk in the opening at-bat of the frame as strike 2 comes through. 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 2 outs down. 1 strike away from the Cardinals clinching a playoff spot.
Well, not yet.
Not yet, but at least for the time being. 2-2 coming, foul ball. So
we don't clinch the spot, but we take control of the spot ourselves instead of in a tie spot.
True.
Or instead of in a tie record or tied. Well, we're not tied. That's what I'm trying to say. We will not be tied if we win this game.
That is another foul ball sponsored by the Logan Manico Foundation. 2-2. Here it comes. Foul down the first base line. So Kyle Joy looking to put a thorn in the Cardinals' side right here as he's battled 2 straight pitches that have been fouled away to keep the count where it is. Muñez sets on the mound. 2-2. Here it comes. Cut and missed. Strike 3 is the call. Muñez making it to number 13 on the season, and the Cardinals are not done yet. They win this game 9-2 in 8.5, and we will see you tomorrow for the Express and the Cardinals. Stick around with us as we will have a brief post-game coverage following this. Cardinals baseball presented to you on StretchInternet.com and the Royal Examiner. Again, a 9-2 ball game going in favor of the Front Royal Cardinals, keeping their win streak alive with a 2-game win streak. Back with you right after this for post-game coverage on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network.
C&C Frozen Treats is a fun place to come to experience some wacky and flavorful homemade ice cream and Italian ice. We have made hundreds of flavors and continue to strive to make new and exciting flavors every time you walk through the door. But beware if you want chocolate or vanilla, as we have a crazy rule here at the store that you must sample 3 of our wacky flavors before you can earn the right to taste chocolate and vanilla. We even put free harassment on our menu board, so you know what to expect when you walk through the door. Come experience C&C Frozen Treats. You won't regret it.
Your local Lindsay Chevrolet dealer of Front Royal is a proud sponsor of the Front Royal Cardinals. Your next new or pre-owned vehicle awaits you at Lindsay Chevrolet. There are many options of Chevy vehicles to help anyone find new roads. Choose Lindsay Chevrolet. You'll love it at Lindsay.
The Wines family and Wines Bookkeeping LLC are proud supporters of the Front Royal Cardinals. Wines Bookkeeping specializes in a variety of business and tax services with outstanding support. We understand how busy you are, and with our expertise, we can take care of your business needs quickly and effectively. Wines Bookkeeping has been serving the Front Royal area for over 50 years. Wines Bookkeeping LLC, your business services professionals.
So in a game that started out as a Cardinal win, ended in a 9-2 victory after a close 2-0 game that went to a tie. 9-2 ball game is the final score here at the confines of Bing Crosby Stadium. Before we get into our post-game coverage, again, 9-7 final in Covington between Stanton and Covington. 4-3 final. Percival taking down Harrisonburg in game number 1 at Percival. Game number 2 going to the Cannons as well, 2-1. The final score at Central High School, 4-2. The Woodstock Ribbon take down the Strasburg Express. Final score in game 1 between Charlottesville and Waynesboro. Waynesboro taking down Charlottesville 7-4. And in the bottom of the 8th is a 15-9 game in the favor of the Tom Sox. Again, final score here, 9-2. The Cardinals defeat the Rebels and keep their win streak alive, going to 2 wins out of the 8-game losing streak that they recorded just a couple of weeks ago. So, Matthew, without further ado, who do you think won, who do you think lost, and what do you think went right for the Cardinals tonight?
So, Bryce Fisher gets the win, and the starting pitcher for the Newmarket Rebels, who was Eric Gustafson.
Yep.
He will get the loss tonight. Bryce Fisher had one little blemish in the 4th inning, giving up the 2-run home run to Jet Jackson, but otherwise struggled with command a little bit, but was able to get through 5 and record the win for the night. He goes 2-4, so congrats to him. He does lower his ERA as well. And then Sean Munoz and Tyler Greenleaf came on in relief and did a very, very good job to hold the Newmarket Rebels to nothing after they came in. The Cardinals scored like seven unanswered. Seven unanswered runs. So very good job by the offense to come alive. But this is a game they should have won considering Newmarket's situation right now.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals at least won a game they should have and take complete control of the playoff spot over the Winchester Royals. So tomorrow night's game.
There we go.
Yep, there we go. Will determine whether or not the Front Row Cardinals are able to be in the playoffs or whether or not they will be knocked out by the Royals. To go to that point, if the Cardinals win, no matter what the Winchester game what happens in the Winchester games, if the Cardinals win, they will make the playoffs. If Winchester wins and Front Royal loses, it will come to a tiebreaker. And I know that they are 3-3 so far against each other in the season, so I do not know how that's going to end up. We will see tomorrow if that indeed happens. So hopefully the Cardinals are able to win tomorrow and make the playoffs. But a big note for them is Brody Popple. If he can continue hitting the way he has been, this is his second straight 3-hit game, and he looked very comfortable at the plate. So Cardinals hope to expand on this game, continue pitching well, and continue hitting well into the playoffs and into tomorrow's game, which will decide whether or not they make the playoffs. So I'll hand it back over to you, Cameron, for the rest of the broadcast.
So Winchester, if we didn't mention it, I'm pretty sure we mentioned it a couple times, they got the forfeit towards Woodstock in the first game of 2 that they were supposed to play tomorrow. So Woodstock took a forfeit, giving Winchester the win. So if that did count, which I'm guessing it did, considering it counted it as a previous game, even though the date's set for tomorrow, Winchester sits at a 14-27 record, 12.5 games back on a 5-game losing streak, so that doesn't go towards their streak. 3-7 in the last 10. The Cardinals now sit 15-26. Currently saying 11.5 games back on now a 2-game win streak. They're 3-7 in their last 10 as well. In the meantime, the Newmarket Rebels fall to 19-22 to end their regular season. No, we're not worrying about their games back or their last 10. Their final streak ends at a 7-game losing streak and dropping to 19-22 to end the regular season. Front Royal staying alive with one more game against Strasburg here at the confines of Bing Crosby Stadium, going into that game with 15 wins, 26 losses. And we will update you on air and online tomorrow, especially of how that is looking, and we will most likely be watching that Percival-Winchester game tomorrow as well. And we'll watch that with the eyes of the Hawk, and that's kind of ironic since Skyline Hawks. Had to make one more before we go. So Front Royal appears to stay in now 5th place. Fourth place. Winchester appears to stay in 5th. Again, Winchester has lost one more game than the Cardinals have, but the Cardinals have won one more game than the Royals have. 15-26 versus 14-27. Yeah. Anyway, that should basically wrap it up. I went through the scores. Again, nothing going on now. This was the last game to end tonight. I think besides, there might have been one more game. Yep, top of the ninth. Charlottesville now 16-9. Over the Waynesboro Generals. So the Waynesboro Generals will have a little bit of a chance to get back, but I think that might just be null and void right there, unless they get an 8-run inning, which is possible. I mean, Front Royal had a 9-run inning against Percival here on the very first, on opening day rather. So it's possible that Waynesboro, as long as Charlottesville doesn't score anything else, they could potentially come back and win that game. 16-9 is the score in Waynesboro. I believe that's Kate Collins Field, I'm not going to worry about that. 16-9 is the current score between Charlottesville and Waynesboro in game number 2 on the evening. In the meantime, the next game here at Bing Crosby Stadium is finger crossed the last one. Front Royal versus Strasburg at 7 o'clock. We'll hit the airwaves at 6:35 for pregame coverage of that game. The Front Royal Cardinals like to thank our 2022 sponsors, Ryan's Family and Ryan's Bookkeeping, CNC Frozen Treats, the Town of Front Royal, Warren County Government, Cedarville Running Club, the Knights of Columbus, Christendom College, Midway Service Center and Towing, Dominion Health and Fitness, Culligan Water, Hazardous Mill Farms, the Brody Michael Foundation, Card My Yard, Front Royal, Kenny Sports Shop, Woods Cove Assisted Living, Green to Ground, U.S. Inspect, Lindsay Chevrolet, TLC Settlements, Reaching Out Now, the Front Royal Little League, and the Concern Hotline. Front Royal Cardinals Baseball presented to you on the air by StretchingNet.com and the Royal Examiner, the affiliates of the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network. This live stream is copyrighted by the Front Royal Cardinals, the Valley Baseball League, and our affiliates on the Front Royal Cardinals Radio Network. The use of any copyrighted material in all forms of media without the expressed written consent of the aforementioned is strictly prohibited. Once again, your final score from this evening's game, Front Royal 9, Newmarket 2. Alongside Matthew Wiseman, this is Cameron Whalen saying so long until tomorrow.